single. Most young women are not.
Young men have fallen faster than any demographic in America over the last 40 years.
It's a different world now. Like, we don't need men the way that they used to.
Nobody needs men!
The future is female.
Men and women are drifting further apart, and society is crumbling because of it.
A fascinating debate has broken out about the value of marriage.
You've kind of got the TradCon versus red pill thing.
This men's rights crowd that sometimes just goes too far the other way.
You need to stop acting like grown boys and infants and actually become men.
Marriage is a bond, and it's a sacred bond.
It's a machine designed to extract resources from you.
Now many of the red-pilled have taken the position that it's bad for men to get married.
Hannah Pearl Davis, or just Pearly things.
One of the most controversial faces in all of the internet.
She goes on to say that marriage is a terrible deal for men.
Because if me and you were in a business contract, you would never sign a contract where I am paid to leave.
Gee, what could go wrong there?
74% or something of divorces are initiated by women. Men have everything to lose, primarily their own children.
Men get killed by the courts and by divorce laws.
I had no idea that courts of family law were courts of equity, not courts of law.
Because in family court, you don't need evidence to accuse someone of abuse. You need no evidence. When you guys say get married young, a lot of these men don't know what they're signing up for, and you're not going to be there when their entire life falls apart. I interview them on the other side.
I didn't meet my son until he was 15 months old.
How much did you spend trying to get him back?
On legal fees alone was about $200,000.
Before you know it, you're homeless. You're literally just thrown out onto the street.
We absolutely reinforce bad behavior from women.
Wives are taught to leave their husbands, and then daughters grow up without their fathers.
Family is the foundation of the society.
Every problem in society comes from single mother homes.
A lot of women will just chase this negative rabbit hole of happiness, endless happiness.
Feminism's biggest failures is it lies to women. We tell women to date as many guys as possible. We tell them to put off family into marriage.
You are allowed to leave your perfect husband. You are allowed to end a relationship with a really great boyfriend.
Oh, freeze your eggs, have an abortion. What? You're evil.
I don't think there's anything else in life that we actually ever go into preparing to fail. Right. Like, if you have the mentality of this is going to go wrong and be pessimistic, naturally the outcome is going to be that it's going to fail anyway. Yeah. It's self-sabotage. And that's the thing, like, women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
This myth that we live in an age of male privilege. Where's my male privilege?
They think, well, men have all the rights. They have all the power.
Privileged patriarchal system that we have.
Why doesn't our society care about men's rights?
I have no friends,
No wife and no social life.
Men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns.
I've seen so many men on the brink of suicide, and they didn't do anything wrong.
How are you equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country? The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure.
Women are helplessly dependent upon men.
The so-called deaths of despair from suicide, overdose, or alcohol, 3 times higher among men than among women.
Culture is telling men, you are no good.
You got to get your act together.
I think men have failed themselves.
What kind of a man are you? What kind of a woman are you going to attract?
If men are in trouble, so are women.
Everybody knows this is a huge problem, but nobody wants to admit it.
Every single woman at the table said they wanted a man.
500K,
500K,
200K,
300K,
200K.
Am I crazy?
Everything is really set up against you to fail as a man.
If men make less than women, women don't want to marry them.
So you know who wants more economically and emotionally viable men? Women.
I don't want to be an independent woman anymore.
I don't want to be a strong, independent woman.
I'm over it.
When is it going to be my turn?
Where are we meeting the men that don't stop?
I can't keep having these same conversations.
The only simp here is you, Pearl. You simp for men.
I think you said for women.
She's a provocateur. She says stupid stuff, but Pearl is right about this.
It's already happening. It's just not out in the open yet.
Now it's just hookup culture is going to be our fairy tale ending because men don't want a wife and women can't find a husband. The future, if everybody follows your path, is there is no future.
We go into population decline, and our economy goes into decline.
Civilization will crumble.
The American story does not end well. This is an existential crisis failing young men.
What is going
going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily here on the Audacity Network. I am your host, Pearl, and thank you for bringing your time and attention here tonight. I know you guys could be anywhere, but you choose to be here, and I truly appreciate it. Before we get started, I want to say thank you to the donations to the divorce documentary. I think we've had donations every single day for like a few weeks now. It says the last donation was 4 hours ago. I just read first names. But we got $50 from Anonymous, $10 from James, Troy, $10, and another $50 from Anonymous. So we're actually almost to $37,000. So if anyone donates $50 during this show, we'll get to 37. And the goal is I put $1 million because I got a really big quote for a really good team, but but I got smaller quotes. So we need about 100K. So, it's not... I got like a movie level. So I was thinking today, I see why men go crazy. So let me get the chat. Let me get the chat going up. I see why men go crazy. I think female gaslighting is just insane to me. Now, I've recently erupted Twitter, and I've erupted Twitter because I pointed out that conservative women will always use their relationships to build their brand. And I had this realization. It wasn't really an attack on anybody. It's not meant to be mean. I'm not saying it in a bad way. That if I meet a conservative woman under 40, I don't think I've met any women that don't use their private life for their personal gain. I don't think I've met a single woman that doesn't use their relationship, their, private text messages, whatever, to build their online following and that doesn't share it with strangers. And I just kept thinking about this more and more, right? And I remember growing up, I would see this with like Facebook mothers. There would be mothers on Facebook that would just overshare every little detail. And you would see the kids, they would basically have a gun to their head, having to pose for every family picture and whatever. And I started thinking about it more, and I realized that modern relationships are just like branding. And when men get into relationships with women, they have to sacrifice their privacy because conservative women will always use their relationship to signal that they're good people. Always. And for personal gain. The ladies I invited the women involved in this to come on a panel. So I may be texting during the show to arrange. I'm hoping they call in. I think it can be a panel. I don't have a problem. Panel is fine. Either panel is fine. All right. So I want to start by getting this out of the way because I know it'll be brought up. All these women, you're all better than me. You're all cooler people. You're all more moral. If we're going to do like a virtue off, you win. So I'm not going to spend a bunch of time. This isn't meant to compare, but I really just, my job is to find trends in society. And I see this as a trend, and I don't see this going away anytime soon. But I realized I see why men go insane. Because what happens is women want power, right? And women get power through money, social media, a bigger network, right? And what happens is, if you notice that women are doing that or point it out, like for example, I did a Catfish of the Year competition. And I started pointing out that these e-girls, none of them look like they say they do because they get power from being hot. And I'm like, hey, these women are kind of mid. And in their pictures, they look hot. This is fraud. And the women crashed out. And everyone said I was jealous, that they're just better looking than me. And I thought, I'm just pointing out that they're not who they say they are. And that's how I feel. That's what I believe I did in this last show. Oh wait, I gotta turn off. Or in these last couple of days. is I really just am starting to point out that a lot of these trad women, by definition, cannot be traditional by doing what they're doing. And, you know, hands up, I've said it so many times, but for some reason they put words in my mouth. I'm not a traditional woman. All of you guys, you're better than me. You win. It's totally fine. But there's something about women that are just like pretending to be something they're not, I guess. And you're just kind of like, I don't know if you are pushing what you think you're pushing. So I want to say, I'm going to actually go on the whiteboard before I react to Brett's video, because I want to talk about the stages that we go through in conservative media. Okay. So we had to makeshift this whiteboard before the show. I'm going to bring my phone so I can read the chat. And if anything, we have any audio issues, there's no problem. Okay, so let me... one in the chat if you can hear me. One in the chat. So, women want power. Now, how do women get power? Social media, right? Money. If women are making more money than their husbands, they have more power than their husbands, okay? The state. Kids. Me too. All of these things give the woman power. And by definition, oh, you know what else? Dating apps. Surgery. You got to forgive me, I have the worst handwriting. And so the thing is, if you believe in what you say you believe, right? The conservatives, you believe there's a natural divine order in the world, right? It goes God, men, women, children. And if you give women power, you're elevating women to equals. And if I ever just point that out, that, hey, if you have money to hold over your husband's head, you just can't be in this traditional relationship. They spaz out. I'm evil. I'm evil. You know, if I say, hey, if you're using your, you know, if you're telling me, right, if you're telling me you care about God and your marriage is about God, but you're posting your marriage or about your relationship on social media, it actually tells me you care more about money than the God, right? And this isn't to attack anybody. This isn't to be mean. I'm not trying to insult anybody. Well, except Morgan Ariel, I'm sorry. I did mention your HPV video, and that was my bad. That was my bad. I didn't need to bring that up. I didn't. I've apologized for that. So I'm going to check the chat to make sure you guys can hear me. I think you guys can hear me. Yep. So, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. We couldn't zoom in on the camera a little bit? Okay, I'm going to go back to that. I thought this was going to look better. Okay, I thought this looked different. All right, but can we zoom it in a little bit? Is that possible? I didn't realize how far out it was. Is that possible? Can I zoom it in up there? Because they can't see the board. You guys there?
Yeah, it can be zoomed in up there.
All right, hold up.
It looks okay from there. We can still read it.
I was spitting. Okay.
Pearl, it's not that bad. We can still read it.
All right, my whiteboard isn't going to work. Oh my gosh.
No, Pearl, we can still see it.
What?
We can still see it. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine?
You can do your whiteboard.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I thought it was too zoomed out. Okay.
No. We can still read it from here. It's fine. Cook.
All right. All right. If you guys can hear it, then I'll go back. I just, the way this looks, I don't like it, but it's all right. All right. So, okay. So, if, where's my whiteboard? So I have to make a decision. Now, I have to remember we are on the internet, right? And for some reason, conservatives can draw conclusions about incentives, and they're not labeled. Oh, now, is it cut? Is it okay? I think it's okay. Can I get a 1 in the chat? Maybe he can see it, I can't see it. Okay. Conservatives can draw conclusions about incentives when it comes to poor people, even black people, right? Conservatives will say, they will say, you know what? If you're paid to be homeless, to commit crimes, you might continue to do that. But for some reason, conservatives use women as a protected class that we can't frickin' criticize. And when you criticize women, all of these stupid simps and other women white knight and defend them. And I'm called immoral. I'm called immoral because I wonder if conservatives like money, God, or clout. And so if you tell me that you take your religion very seriously, and I see you posting, and this isn't really about the ring, right? It's not just about the ring, but it's never just the ring. If I see you using God to try to win arguments, for some reason, I'm wrong for thinking you might not care that much about the God and you care more about being a bitch, right? Like if you're using God, like religious stuff, right? Matrimony, something that's supposed to be about God for clout, social media, it might make me think that you're in it for the social media. Because I always thought, religion was kind of supposed to be a private thing. And you weren't supposed to bring any glory to you. It was supposed to go to God. But when influencers start using it for clout, to be a bitch, or for money, I start to think maybe they're not too much into the God stuff and they're more into the social media stuff. And because women are a protected class, the women get to be victims if I even ask the question, and any bitchiness they have towards me is perfectly acceptable. And I'm going to show you during this thing. So what happens is women want power. Women want power. So women want social media fame, right? Women want money. Women want status. Women want dating apps. Women want plastic surgery. All women are conservative until it comes to nose jobs, right? Until it comes to Botox, right? Till it comes to makeup. And by the way, I'm not hating on this. I'm not overly religious, right? And women like this make me less religious every day. Anytime I think maybe I should, try to be more religious, I see the women that say they're doing a good job marketing this thing, and I think I'd rather go to hell than be in heaven with these broads. I swear to God. I see why men go crazy. Like, you'll see a guy like shoot up a school or do something, and I'm like, this is psychological torture. This is psychological. They're psychologically torturing me. Because if I say anything, then you get the simps defending. And the way simps will defend is they'll say, no, it's not that bad. But the biggest thing that simps and women do is they both gaslight. And this is the tool of the woman. And this is what happened to me in this e-girl debate was, the women said, I believe in God. They have the cross in their bios, right? Then they post they're supposed to be what I thought was a private matrimonial thing, a godly thing for clout. And I think maybe the God thing isn't that important to them because this seems to be used to build a brand. When women are using God, because marriage is supposed to be about God, right? To be a bitch. I don't know if you guys are taking this stuff seriously. And, it makes me just I'm like, I think I'm to the point that if I was really religious, I would think I would shoot myself in the head. I really think I would. I think I would, because if I had to deal with this gaslighting in church, and these are, oh my God, I would die. All right. I tried to get a beer before this show because I was like, I need a drink. And so I'm going to show you how unfair Brett Cooper, and I bet you all the simps, because the Daily Wire, that whole crew, it's all simps. They're all gynocentric. Because when it comes down to it, another thing. I have one more thing. I'm going back to the whiteboard. Another thing, if I notice and don't take, if I notice and I don't take women's word, right? If I say, hey, Brett Cooper, respectfully, you went to a giant party school. I don't think you were that pure. I don't believe it. Hey, Candace Owens, you got married at 30 to a bunch of money. I think you were gold digging a little bit. And they say, no, I wasn't. Hey, ladies, if you're posting your ring on the internet, I think you want attention and clout. I think it's pretty obvious. They will say that I am somehow immoral, a bad person, and try to ruin my reputation and character assassinate me. That's what they tried to do. And all because I don't believe a woman. Why is there a gun to my head saying, I must believe women? Why am I immoral for that? Now, I didn't need to talk about Morgan Ariel's HPV, all right? That was wrong. That was below the belt. And I'll get into the back and forth today. But I'm going to show you Brett Cooper's coverage. And it's the same thing. And I'm so done with the BS. Brett, fresh, you crucified him. You crucified your coverage on a man. You crucify him. You are always defending women, every woman ever. And so, people come at me and they say, Pearl, you're always bashing women. Well, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it, and I get crucified for it, for being honest. I'm told I'm immoral because if a girl's doing something on social media, I have to believe it's God and love, not clout. It's bullshit. I'm closing this door really quick. All right, now we're going to react. I look tall. All right, so I want to give you the backstory, and I want to give you the actual starting point. The actual starting point of this whole beef. This whole beef started. They say I started this beef, right? They say it was Pearl. They say Pearl was the mean one. That, Pearl just likes to start drama. That Pearl's jealous. That Pearl's, Okay, well, let's examine the facts. And let's ask, who insulted who first? Who insulted who first? Who threw the first shot? It's the girl everybody's defending. It is. Hold on. Now, I want to let's look up the definition of an insult. Because I think we need to like go into what is the definition of an insult. So let's insult definition. Because, these Christian women, if you guys are so Christian, why can't I tell by the way you act? I'm not. I'm a bad person. All right, I'm bad. I'm evil. You guys made it super clear. A disrespectful or scornfully abusive remark or action. Now, I want to be clear. When I make comments on Twitter, I am a cultural commentator. So that means I look for trends. I look for trends and patterns of behavior. That's my job. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to be a role model. I'm not here to say, look up to me. I've said from the very beginning, you can find somebody better than me to look up to. Go to your mom, go to your grandma, go to someone better than me. It's not me. But I am a cultural commentator and I do enjoy my job. I do. I like it. It's fun. I'm not the most traditional person in the world. I'm not. I was raised an athlete. I was a tomboy. But when I go on Twitter, I look for trends. And something that is apparent to me that I didn't always know when I was younger is how much men value privacy. And when I was younger, I was in a pretty public relationship, and they tweeted, and I'm going to talk more about it. And guys, I never want to bash. I never ever in my life. So if he sees this or whatever, I just want you to know he was a good person, but I think even I don't want to be in contact or whatever, but I think we both agree that the publicness at the time made everything worse. And something I didn't realize at the time is how much you're hurting men in your life by putting private moments public. And look, I'm not a stickler. I'm not going to say every little thing or, that's between other people. But I just noticed that conservative women cannot have a private relationship. None of them. Whenever it comes to their kids, whenever it comes to having a family, like it's always on Twitter, always. I've never seen a woman do it, ever. And this goes back, even the women from I'm not from the biggest town ever, but even where I'm from, I just really have never seen women keep a relationship private. So this was the first thing. There's a girl named Sarah Stock, and she said, I won. Now, the reason I looked at this tweet and I thought it was weird was because I was thinking, what is the purpose of this tweet? And because when people are posting things, that's kind of what you think of when you're looking at trends. You think, what is the purpose of posting this? And I thought, so she's bringing glory not to God, not to her husband, to herself, because she's saying, I won, right? It's me. And maybe you say, Pearl, are you being a stickler about it? Well, it's Twitter, And then my second thought was, if they are who they say they are, right, and they're religious or they believe in God, and they're gonna, I think she went to be Catholic, and when women become Catholic, I take it a little more personal because I grew up with that religion. I'm not the most religious person, and women like you guys make me less religious every day. And yes, you might think, Pearl, that's not an excuse. Well, it's the one I'm using. I swear to God. And she says, I won. And I think, okay, interesting. Now, my first thought was, well, this girl cashed out early. This is early for an e-girl. I think she's 22 or 23. The hottest right-wing e-girl is taken off the market. I actually gave her a compliment. The second thing I said, conservative women will always use their brand and marriage, or conservative women will always use their marriage and family to build their brand. Now, by the way, this was not a personal attack. I did not insult her. But this is a mere observation, right? I am observing that you're using something nice that your husband did for you to benefit yourself. To, flex on other people and to bring glory to yourself. Now, this isn't to be mean. This isn't to insult you. But if you're making money off of your account and you're getting followers, right? It goes back to that handy dandy chart. It's too dark. You guys can't even see it. But, you know, if I have to think, maybe I'll make like a slideshow or something. Are you in this? Did you pick clout? Did you pick God? Or did you pick money? I'm leaning towards clout, right? That's what I'm leaning towards. Again, this isn't to insult you. I don't mean this as an insult. Now, I want to go back to the relationship I told you guys about. Now, I am crucified on Twitter because I had a 2-year relationship with another TikToker years ago. This is when I was younger. And, you know, the right-wing e-girls, I guess, are pretty racist. They can't deal with the interracial stuff. Now, this ended years ago. It really wasn't that dramatic. It was a year or two. We were together. We broke up. It didn't work out. It didn't. And, you know, I can admit, you know, that was a failure for me. I'm not exactly, you know, proud of it. You know, but now, you know, Sarah comes through and she's saying once you stop getting ran through by black guys, it could happen to you too. Now, and I just thought that was a little bit of an overreaction. Now, I understand it's kind of funny, right? It is funny. It is Twitter. I'll take the insult. But I kind of thought to myself, well, now you're making this was a relationship and you're making it seem like something it wasn't, you know. You're making it seem, you know, you're kind of trying to call me a whore in response because I made an observation. So she actually threw the first punch. She threw the first insult. I didn't. This wasn't personal to Sarah, right? It wasn't. But conservatives are going to frame it as if she threw the first punch. Now, why would I question a woman putting the ring on the internet? Doug MPA told me I shouldn't read that comment, but I'm just trying to be honest with you guys about what happened. I'm not trying to keep a secret here. You know, I mean, the relationship, it wasn't a secret, obviously. But it's a little hypocritical because most of these women have ex-boyfriends, and a lot of them I've heard aren't white either. So it's a little bit hypocritical of a lot of these women, you know. I mean, some of them have all out other kids, right? And they're crucifying me for an ex-boyfriend. Like some of you have kids from different guys. You know, it's just a little bit, you know, whatever. So it's interesting because Sarah reacting that way did the exact thing I said it was going to do. She got attention, right? She's making money and then she gets to claim victimhood because that's always what happens. Girls go onto the internet, they post things looking for attention, they get the attention they asked for, and then they play victim. And it's like, why do women go into a man's world if they can't take what comes in it? And now we're going to do the victimhood arc. So knowing that she threw the first punch, Brett Cooper is going to give an overview of the other back and forths. Let's look at how she's going to frame it. She's going to skip over her throwing the first punch at me.
On the topic of infighting, we need to talk about what is going on in the right-wing girl boss, Tradwife, I don't even know, corner of X right now, because they are melting down. So all of this started when a girl...
And remember, these are women saying they're Christian. And I'm like, you're Christian, but this is, I'm a bad person. I'm bad. I'm a bad person. I'm evil. I'm the worst. They tell me this every day. I'll believe it. Sure. But if you're gonna, yeah, I know, you know, Sarah, you were publicly seen with a Mexican guy that you dated. You know, so if you're going to come at me, do you know what I mean? Like, isn't this the pot calling the kettle? Like, were you guys virgins? Like all of you? Really? All right.
Posted a photo of her engagement ring and she said that she'd gotten engaged. So I want to lay out these
And by the way, conservative women can never they don't see any issue with putting things publicly. And by the way, I'm not even saying it's immoral. But what I'm saying is I don't have to believe this is about God or love then. If you're going to incentivize other things. And by the way, I don't really care about the ring. It's not the ring. You know, it was more of a pattern of women showing the ring and never the guy. Never.
Characters for you, because I was trying to explain this to Alex. I was trying to explain this to a couple of people on my team. I was like, guys, we have to talk about this, but it was so convoluted. So in case you have not been following this insane scandal that has been unfolding for days, these are the cast of characters. Okay, so the beef online that we are seeing is between a girl named Sarah Stock. She is the one who...
And now watch, they're going to frame her as the victim. And this is why men shoot themselves. Sorry, that was too far. That was too far. YouTube guidelines. I shouldn't have said that. But no, Doug MPA, wait, we're going to do the... I'm going to spit. We're going to react to this, and then we're going to take callers. So we're going to wait on this. You guys can either call it or not, this is why, because this gaslighting, I'm going nuts. I'm not allowed to comment without you guys calling me a whore. Really? And it would be one thing if I had some nudes on the internet or something, or like a porno come out. But because of an ex-boyfriend, really? Truly? I get it, it's...
got engaged and posted her ring. Pearl Davis, just Pearly Things on X. There she is right there. Emily Wilson, who goes by Emily Saves America online. And Morgan Ariel, who is another conservative MAGA trad style influencer. There's her photo. Sorry, that took a second. There she is. So these are all like conservative, I'm saying that with like really serious air quotes, MAGA, right-wing, trad-ish influencers. That's just what you need to know. And this entire scandal started with this post. So Sarah Stock, who has not talked about publicly being in a relationship, has not talked about...
So now she's already running cover. And remember, this is women defending power because Brett gets money and power from her social media. So do I, but I'm open about it, right? I'm not pretending to be something I'm not, right? But they're going to defend it till the grave and then gaslight you. And then I'm going to shoot myself. So she's already like, this is the softball coverage they give women. It's insane.
Yeah, that's really just the whole point. She posted this photo of her.
She is pregnant. And do you know why I know? Because she used it for clout too. They all do. This isn't an insult. This is a fact. And I'm going to go through their Instagrams, all right?
Hand with a ring on it. And she says, I won. So she is announcing that not only is she in a relationship, which people did.
Right. Did you? Okay.
No, but she also is engaged.
Now, Brett's going to do it this way because she did the same thing, right? Now, Brett's going to, okay.
I did the same thing. Nobody really knew that I was dating Alex. And then I popped up and I was like, hey, actually, I'm getting married. We're getting engaged.
Okay. Now, mind you, I'll show you. Brett did the same thing. Brett, and by the way, I am not saying this is wrong, but you have to understand, Brett. You have to understand where I'm coming from. And actually, Brett's like the only e-girl I don't predict divorce for. Based on the patterns I've seen, I actually think it's going to work out. But like if you're doing this like whole editorial about your wedding, it's going to make me think that you're more into the clout than the God thing, right? I mean, and I'm immoral for like thinking that. It's cute. She looked beautiful. Seriously stunning. And like I think they're an adorable couple. Like seriously. But again, we have to think of the incentives. Like if you're paid to be religious and you're paid to be trad, the only way I'm going to think that you mean it is if you don't make money off it or use it for clout. And I'm gaslit to eternity over this. It's crazy. Okay. So she's got to obviously do the same thing. Not that one. This one. Here we go.
So anyway, she did that. And this post should not have been controversial at all. She had a funny caption, I won. I don't know if she's saying that, to dunk on other women.
Say it seems like a generational thing. See, that's you simps defending. It's a generational thing. You're right, it is. It totally is a generational thing. That's why, that was the point of my post. That was the exact point, is that modern marriage today, not only are men at a disadvantage when they get married today. But they also have to help build their girlfriend's brand online. And that is part of modern relationships. That's part of it. That's the trend. And a lot of people will come back at me and say, but Pearl, it's normal nowadays. That's not true. That's not true. It's normal for women. That is not normal for men. Men don't post their private lives on social media. Most men barely have an Instagram. Social media is for women.
Or she's saying that she won because she's getting married and she loves her fiance, whatever it is. I saw that and I was like, oh, that's so nice. That's great. Like, this should not have been controversial in the slightest, but right-wing feminists, MAGA, whatever they are, now
are you going to give me fair coverage? They never do. They never do.
Voted for a myriad of reasons online, but the conversation quickly became about the size of her ring. And it was specifically
Now remember, the actual reason this went viral was because of Sarah's first comment calling me a whore. Okay, that was her first comment. I get it. I had an interracial relationship. You guys don't like it. It's fine. It's fine. I get it. It's fine. It was a long time ago. It didn't work out. I get it. Okay. But it wouldn't have even gone that viral. I've had so many posts of that same post, but for like 5 different e-girls. Brett has to editorialize everything. She can't just present the facts. Also, I can't stand Spinstergram. Yeah, I know. Now, she just skipped over what made this viral, and she's going to paint Sarah as a victim when Sarah started it. And hey, I got in the kitchen. I'm not even complaining. I'm really not. But I can defend myself. I can. And I will. I will. So now Emily comes in, and I'm sorry, Emily. I do like you. We're pals, but I don't understand your obsession with money. I really don't. Maybe, it's just, I don't know. I'm just not a materialistic person. I mean, it's just not me. I personally, the ring doesn't really matter, but then she says the ring size. I don't think the size matters, but I just wonder why men can't do nice things for us without it being public anymore. That was my question. That was seriously my question. And all the simps, right? They'll downplay it because they don't realize what women are doing. Half of these women can and will divorce their husbands and use their brand as marketing for husband number 2. I've seen this film before. I don't wish it on them. I don't hope it happens. But, I would have seemed like a dick if I said the same thing about Lauren Southern 5 years ago. There's some women that have certain behaviors that usually predict a divorce later. This wasn't made by me, but by the observations of thousands of men. I did not create this. And when women show off the resources that men give them, rather than the boy or rather than the guy, it's usually not looking good for you, fellas. I hate to break it to you. And I want to just use an equivalent, like, if I make dinner for, let's say I make dinner for someone, right? And they use that and they say, hey, and the guys are posting online, look how awesome I am. I can get my wife to, I won, Or if a guy buys you flowers and the women are taking pictures of it and putting in the group chat. Women don't care about privacy as much, so it would actually work better on women. But it shows a lack of understanding of men because most men don't want to give a girl a ring and have an e-girl crash out over it. They don't. That's not really... And guys, you have to understand, men make concessions over time and accept things they don't really like. So most of your simp husbands aren't really honest with you. I have no idea if hers is, right? This isn't an attack on her, but a lot of times women will come in and say, my husband doesn't care if I do this. Usually they care, they just shut up, right? They just stop talking because it's easier to just not care. So I said, I don't think the size matters. She says size matters.
Fooled by this comment from Emily. She just said the ring size with like the dead emoji, which means LOL. And guys, this is where it really gets juicy. Like all hell broke loose from here. And I'm not going to read every word in all of these tweets because they are so graphic and there are things that I don't even want to say online, but I will have my...
Now I am going to admit fault here. I am going to say where I was wrong. Morgan Ariel, I was wrong in this part. I was. And I'm gonna say this now. If you come on the stream, I was
Producer,
wrong.
flash them up on screen. You can pause these. You can read them. You can enjoy them. But if you have children watching in the background, I know a lot of you guys like sit with your kids and watch this. This might not be the episode. You might want to turn this off or like cover their ears because what is going on with these women is insane. All right. So Morgan Ariel, that's one of the girls we talked about. She quote tweeted that comment from Emily Saves America, and she said, "You give it up for free, ho. Might want to sit this one out."
Okay, so I do regret my next comment. I do. I really do. She said, "You gave it up for free, ho, and you might want to sit this one out." And Morgan, I just thought this was really ironic because she has a kid. Do you know what I mean? So if you're saying that you gave it up for free, I'm like, don't you have a child, ma'am? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think she's a single mom. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, so I do regret this part. I should not have gone below the belt. I should not, but I just could not. I was reading this and I'm like, I just couldn't. And this is public knowledge, right? This isn't, she put all this on the internet. So I was just quoting back her. The second thing I quoted was she had a video talking about how she cured herself of HPV. Now, that's an STD, right? That's an STI or whatever. So actually, that should be our Friday STD show. We do STD shows on Friday and we talk about STDs here. But I just thought it was a little ironic because you had like a video talking about your HPV and you have a kid. Look, I'm not saying she gave it up to everybody, but you know, and that's kind of like the women office. Women just call each other whores. And I'm like, we're all whores, all of us. I mean, you're either whoring for clout, whoring for money, or like you're either putting your relationship on the internet for clout, which I kind of think is a similar thing. But most of you, like if you weren't a virgin on your wedding day, you're no angel. And you could say, oh, I have a low body count. But that means I just have to believe you, which goes back to if we pan it back to the whiteboard, that pans back to this bullshit where I have to just take women's word. Like, it's annoying. Why do I just have to take your word? I don't know you hoes. I don't.
So she's saying you shouldn't even be commenting on this or about her ring size. You give it up for free. She's getting...
Yeah, and and that's the thing. So all these women get married and they get a ring and they think it just absolves them from everything they've done before, right? They just think, oh, I have a ring. Like, it's like it almost goes over their head that just because you get a ring, it doesn't make you a different person. Like, if you're crashing out on me because I pointed out you're posting for clout and you're calling me a whore in response, I mean, you might be married, but that doesn't mean you're a wife, right? That doesn't mean your character is of that. And look, I'm not here to virtue signal. I'm not a good person. So I'm not saying I am. I obviously, I went in it too. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to virtue signal and use your ring in your marriage to signal higher status and virtue, I just wish to see it. You know what I mean?
Married, she's staying in her lane, whatever, like sit this one out. And then Pearl jumps back in. She had already been tweeting.
Yeah, bitch, you did not put the original punch. You always do this, Brett. Your takes are always they're always defending women. I am the only one. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go nuts.
About Sarah and the ring and her marriage and all of that stuff. Pearl jumps in.
Yeah, I didn't need to do this. This I shouldn't have done. I regret this. I said, Morgan, you're a single mom with a public video admitting you have HPV. You might want to sit this out too. And by the way, when women's reputation, she's threatened to send lawyers. I'm like, it was the video you posted. And then I should send my lawyers at you because you said I probably have AIDS because I had a black boyfriend 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years. Like, all right, I get it. You guys are not with the interracial stuff. I get it. I totally get it. We dated. It didn't work out. It is what it is. But I was like, AIDS? That's a bit rude. And you don't know what I do privately. Like, what? Are you guys crazy? So you just made that up. You have no evidence of this. You put out a public video, and that's what they do. They just make stuff up. Yeah, I know. These e-girls, they virtue signal, and then they're racist right after. I'm like, what is wrong with these hoes? Now, again, I am taking accountability. Morgan Ariel, you did post it, but I shouldn't have did that.
She responds to Morgan and says, Morgan, you are
Mine was factual, though. And the thing is, on Twitter, if you do anything racial, all the groypers are there. They'll always ratio you. Always.
Single mother with a public video admitting that you have HPV. You may want to sit this one out, too. And then Morgan responds with that, which I will let you guys read on your own time. And then Emily jumps right back in. Again, guys, these are conservative female influencers, conservative in quotes, air quotes. Emily says, Morgan, your baby daddy abandoned you. You're raising a bastard child. But yet,
and Brett, like, come on, were you a virgin on your wedding day? This is the cosplay I can't stand. Brett, like, you went to a big school. I don't believe you either. I'm not calling you a whore, right? But you're a normal woman, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're a normal woman. You have a sex drive, just like we all do. I'm sure maybe a black guy's in your past too. It seems like that's all the right-wing e-girls. It seems like it's all of them at this point. Apparently this other one, they're saying on Twitter that she was like banged on a balcony at a TPUSA party. Now she's marrying a white guy too. It's like they all did the same thing. Mine just was on the internet, you know.
Somehow, some way you think you're better than me or anyone on this app. You gave it up for free, got left in the dust, and now post rage bait on X to supplement the inadequacy of your monthly.
No, but I'm not calling her a whore. I'm not. But I'm saying to some extent, all the women are. Like, I mean, I'm not going to pretend I'm a saint, right? You guys are going to pretend you're saints, really? Like, truly? If you went to college, even if you didn't, I still don't believe you. If you lived on your own, I don't believe you. Unless you got married. The only one I might believe is Savannah. That is the only one, because she got married at like 19. But you guys, like, women have sex drives. And you're way hornier when you're younger. I'm just saying, like, those young women are like rabbits, all right? From the time they're like 15, even uncomfortably younger. The first person I remember being sexually active in my grade was before that. And I'm just supposed to give you the benefit of the doubt. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. For 6 years, bitch, do you think I'm as dumb as these simps? Do you think I'm stupid? You guys, all of you have incentives to lie about this. Oh, snap, Pearl's monetized. Thank you. All of you have incentives to lie. Why would you be honest? Sorry, I need to stop. But, and so I'm not even trying to. The only reason I said the first one, and I shouldn't have done, I should not have brought up the HPV, Morgan Ariel. It was because I just thought it was so ironic that she was saying that. Okay.
Child support.
And hit the like button. It'd be cool to break 2,000 today. It really would. Because all these other people, they're on the big platforms. They have simps defending them. They have other women defending them. But you know who's not going to get defended? It's me. Because I'm the only one. I'm one of the few influencers that's honest about this stuff. And it costs me everything, by the way. I don't get to have a good reputation, right? Because I don't take the money, right? I don't take the easy money that, you know, you can just do by virtue signaling and by putting, you know, yeah. And putting your relationship on, like,
payments. Like now this is like the cuts are going.
They are who we thought we were, and we were letting them off the hook. Yeah. I'm on the front line. I am on the front line. And, this is what I get. But, I would rather be honest than live a lie. And all of you probably have black guys in the past too. All right. You're not going to fool me, hoes. You guys are, come on. At least a Latino.
Going deep. Like these women are lashing out. They are basically.
Yeah, they're not virgins. And if you believe that, that's fine. But like, come on, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. Then you're just an idiot. Then maybe they're like finger blasted virgins where like they got finger blasted or they took it from the back door. They're not real ones though.
Trying to dunk on each other, like who is the most hoe of all of the hoes, who is the least trad. It is like, instead of
all hoes, all 100%, you, all. If you didn't wait till you're married, hoe.
Like this is like the reverse of what the left does. Like the left will try to dunk on each other and they will try to be so morally superior. I'm more politically correct. I've done all these things. I've donated to these causes. I posted the black square. I do all the right things. I go to the right protests. On the right, it's just like, you are a hoe. You do this, you do whatever. It's just like tearing people down. Anyway, that's sort of what's happening. And then this is just where this is the doozy. This was like the tweet to end all tweets. You would think that it all peaked here, but it just kept going. So Morgan then responds and she says, she's talking to Emily. Oh my God. None of that is true, Emily. But unlike you, I don't lie.
Okay, Morgan, you have a video admitting to the HPV. I could play it, but I don't really care. Like, I don't really care. I don't care what these women did. I just thought it was ironic.
So here are some facts. Oh my God, I can't even believe I'm going to read this. No, Max, you can put this back on screen. People need to see this.
Then they're saying I'm crashing out. I am crashing out. That's true. Because the gaslighting, the crashing out is more indicative of you guys because, you could gaslight to the point of crashing out. Okay, I'm going to go.
Let's bring it back. I'm so sorry. You were engaging in sexual acts, I would say, in the middle of a hotel lobby at a TPUS.
Okay. I don't really want to read this, but she's just saying that Emily basically was doing she hooked up with some guys on I don't know if she did or didn't, but.
Say event. Well, everyone around, guys, it only took off from there. That was like 48 hours ago. And we are still talking about this. The tweets are still flying. The comment sections are still popping off. Now, it seems like at this point, the entire right wing has, commented on what I'll call like Ringgate. They are either like debating the value of an engagement ring and how big an engagement ring should be, whether men, should propose with a ring pop or actually get something, more expensive. And the values behind that, they're debating that. They're also talking about the values or lack thereof, I would say, of these influencers who are tweeting. And so I've been trying to think about how I feel about all of this and what I want to say, because obviously I wanted to talk about because it's funny. And per you.
All right, men assume their vajayjays are like EPA, super fun sites.
Usual things that happen online in the real world are far more dramatic and funnier, in my opinion, than.
Isabella, you got caught up too, right? I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm not trying to embarrass you because we both know what it is, right? I'm really not. I'm not trying to be a dick. But even when it came up for you, I was thinking that half these hoes did the costume. I was thinking really? None of you did anything in school? Come on. I just see you in the chat. Let's not play pretend here, right? Come on.
Reality TV. This is basically Jerry Springer. This is hilarious. But I think that there is a bigger point here that we should discuss. And a couple things are true. First of all, unfortunately, women are going to women. They are going to lash out. They are going to be petty and jealous. They're going to be competitive. They're going to do all of this for attention online, which ironically, just to bring this back up, Emily tweeted about before all of this started. She had a tweet where she said, women just hate other women. And
I like how you can bring up an old tweet of Emily's, Brett, but you couldn't bring up the tweet of her attacking me first.
Down to jealousy. It's that simple. And yet she was one who was trashing this girl because of the size of her ring. Now, Another point that I want to make about ring sizes, just for any of the guys out there or girls who are now looking at their rings or thinking about getting engaged, whatever. In my opinion, it's like every situation is different. Every relationship is different.
And by the way, to be fair, Emily's the only one being honest. I did a spreadsheet of all the conservative women, the average net worth of their husbands, right? And it was like 10 million. It was like 10 million was the average. So Emily's at least being honest here. Most women are gold digging to some degree. It really isn't, no offense, Emily, but I don't think it's the classiest to say that. But at least she's being real, right? She's saying that's what I want. She's going for what she wants. But it might not be right. You might say that. But half the women, if you Google their husbands, it's like their net worth is $1 million plus. So, yeah. How have I had one black boyfriend. So could we move on? I see the chat. I get it. It was a few years ago. All right, it happened.
Your values and your priorities, even down to what kind of ring you want or like or different. So just do you. Just do what makes you happy and tune everybody else out and stop shaming people for the size of their rings and their...
But see, know how she puts the accountability. She doesn't put it on the girl who posted the ring and say, hey, if you post something like that, you might get negative attention. Even if you mean something positive, the world is not a nice place. And remember, there's pedophiles on Twitter. There are evil people on that. It's not your private Facebook friends. You're putting this out for the world to see. So it's on you. Whatever response you get, like, you're asking for it because you put it out there. That's why I don't understand why people put their kids out there. There's pedos on Twitter. And then again, it goes back to, what do they care about? They say they care about God, right? But if you're putting your child on Twitter, that to me shows me that you care more about the money than the kid. Because what is the upside of putting your kid on Twitter? What's the upside?
Choices, like, you genuinely can't win. If you get a quote unquote real natural diamond and it's all you can afford, and so you get a really small one, that's wonderful, but people will still maybe make comments. But I also see things online where people get like a moissanite or a lab grown ring or some other kind of gemstone, and it's like
God, I don't care about these rings. Let me scoot forward.
I think the bigger issue is people right now don't even know what conservative values are anymore. And a lot of people have warned Republicans about that. Like, as you expand the big tent, these values are going to become eroded. We're not going to even know what we believe anymore. And unfortunately, those people were completely accurate. Like, we have spent, I personally have spent so much time this year talking about the left losing its way, not being genuine, not being authentic, losing touch.
So now this is a virtue signal, right? It's, they're immoral, I'm moral. Oh my God, it just never ends. I get it, Brett. You guys are all more moral than me. You win. It's the moral off. You win.
With its party, especially young people, the values being all over the place, having like naked people at pride parades, but then having like Gavin Newsom with his like perfect, like coiffed blonde family that is like the complete antithesis to what you see like naked in the streets. Like, everything is just insane and chaotic. But that also, I'm sorry, is what has happened on the right. Like, you have MAGA, you have Christian conservatives, you have conservatives who aren't necessarily religious, you have libertarians who got involved, you have people from the left who joined in because they liked Tulsi or RFK Jr., whatever it may be, and everybody is fighting for dominance in regards to their values. And there's so much chaotic, confusion that nobody really knows what to believe. And a lot of these people will grift and leech onto these labels for money and attention online when they aren't actually living the values that are attached to that.
But here's the thing, none of them are. You cannot be in a conservative, in my opinion, and you might disagree, I don't think you can be in a conservative relationship if you are broadcasting your relationship for public consumption. I don't think you can. I don't think that's something that middle America can really relate to. I don't. Being able to make money off of love. So.
Label that they have now assigned themselves, if that makes sense. Sorry, I think that this is probably getting kind of jumbled, but I'm trying to get to a point here. Like, these alleged stories about these.
I'm so above it all, but I'm still involved. Someone said, I know, this is just virtue signaling. I'm above it. I am a good, like, this is what she's saying. I'm a good representative of conservatism. These women are not. I get it, Brett. We get it. We get it. All right.
Women and women like them and things that happen at these conferences, which I have attended as a student, I've spoken at, like, these aren't new to me, unfortunately. Like, this is not shocking information. And it's not just women. Like, I hear stories about men going to these conferences and cheating on their wives, straight men getting to these conferences and going on Grindr and hooking up with dudes. I did a whole interview with my friend Amir, and we talked about the hypocrisy and what he sees as a gay man at so many of these conferences. You know, the trad women who LARP on.
And it's the same thing with Brett, right? It's like all the women get conservative once they can make money off of it. It's always just like convenient. They convert like magically when you can make money off of it. You know, so, but, and I'm not saying they're not genuine, but if I look at the incentives, I'm less likely to believe it. And I think that's fair. I do.
Online for attention, but meanwhile are sleeping around with a bunch of guys behind the scenes, not actually living the values that they say that they are and are encouraging other women to follow. And this is not meant to discourage people or black pill you guys.
I'm black pilled. And you e-girls, not Brett. Brett's actually, she's nice, but she's always, I hate her. Like when she covers this stuff like this, it makes my blood boil. It makes my blood boil. It does, you know.
Trying to be honest about all of it, because this like breakdown that's happening on X right now, I think it actually is very indicative of where we are as an ideology or as a political party, whatever you want to call it. And this is why, in my opinion, at the end of the day, you can't put all of your faith or your trust in others to guide your values or.
Okay, I think we're going to skip over this.
Wanted to make here. Just log offline, go touch grass, gold.
All right, so maybe I'll go through some of the back and forths and I'll just think of my thinking. I'll show you my thinking when I'm tweeting this stuff. And you know, by the way, I know I do get very hyped during these because I do enjoy doing this show, but it's chill. I'm not mad at anybody involved. You know, we're just, you know, doing what we're doing. Okay, so actually I'm gonna send this link out, I think. Let's see. If there's any tweets. Oh, I got some pushback. So one of the pushbacks that I got is that we should broadcast our marriages and show that we're awesome by our marriages because it's better than OnlyFans. And I just don't know if a woman selling her butthole on the internet, if like the goal is to be better than selling the butthole. Because I think what's actually going to happen is there's going to be many girls trying to be influencers in their marriages. And it's going to drive all these men's like, all these women's husbands like insane. I think that's actually the more likely outcome is like, it's going to be like the new, and by the way, I'm not a good person. I'm not saying it's me, right? But it's going to be the new, like the new joke, like the new man's worst fear is going to be, I want to debate about feminism. They're like, no! But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Savannah came in. I did invite her, but you know, she said she couldn't stay up this late, and I'm like, Savannah. She's like asking me to move the show. I'm like, the world doesn't revolve around you, honey. Like, you guys just blackpill me more and more. Savannah, it makes sense that women would post their marriages and engagement for status when it's ridiculous. Oh, this is what she said. It makes sense that women would post their marriages and engagements for status when it's ridiculous sized rock and 6-figure wedding rings. So when women say things like, look at my ring, where's your ring? They're signaling that they're higher status, right? And now they're going to gaslight you and say, well, if it's not a big ring, it doesn't count. This is where they'll get, and this is why, like, I want to shoot myself sometimes, because I'm like, this gaslighting is going to drive me crazy. You're using it exactly for that. Exactly. But the young women who are having modest ceremonies and don't care about materialism of marriage definitely are not. We get ridiculed for it. I don't think so, Savannah. I got to look at the facts. You know, you got a pretty big Instagram following. I see you come up. You got 5,000 followers on here. I'm assuming you're monetizing in some way, or you can. You still get, as I said earlier, power from this. And this kind of goes back to the point is the reason women are always going to vote is even e-girls, they're never going to give up power. I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they're immoral, right? But I don't think I'm wrong for just noticing this stuff. The women posting for status are the girl boss, 30-year-olds talking about how they're at the Hamptons with their Chanel bag and moving into a multi-million-dollar home. Well, I mean, they're also posting for status, but in a different way, right? It's kind of like the women. That's why we say the conservative and liberal women aren't too different. It's like the same stuff, different day, right? The conservative women did the same thing. It's just not like public, right? The girl bosses get praised by other women. And then I said, I've never seen you gaslight. If you're using your marriage to get followers, any reasonable person is going to question your intentions. Pearl, be so real. You call out women for doing the exact same things you do. I do. Because I'm honest. I am honest about it. I really am. Would you rather us promote degeneracy and sleeping around? Well, I'd rather you be honest about the fact that you guys, none of you were virgins either. You use the red pill talking points to gain followers and make money off of vulnerable men. Well, I mean, that's for you to decide. I have a call-in show. That's really my job is I do a call-in. I take these calls and you can call in or not. It's fine. So I said, I know I'm the villain. Now, can we go back to the point? Modern marriage is taking private moments to signal status and gain followers. This is new marriage. And then she says the OnlyFans argument. I think I'm done. Let's get Doug MPA and then we'll start taking callers. They say I crashed out. I mean, I think on the internet, you got to crash out at least once. So if this is my crash out, then, it's fine. I'll take it. Thank you, Roulette Wheel, for the $10 super chat. Men would be happier if women used their lips for other things for other than causing stress. We want to work, come home, and de-stress with the family. So I'm going to allow the e-girls to call in. I'm about to check my phone. And I'm going to put in the group chat too. I do have, you can't overtalk me. This is my show. So my one request is, and I don't think this should have to be said, but apparently the women that know so much about like respect and obedience, I'm not saying you guys, I'm sure they'll be fine. But yeah, don't overtalk me on my show.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna copy the link. I'm gonna put it in the group chat I made on Twitter. Doug MPA, what are your thoughts? Did I miss anything? Am I off?
No. So this is a perfect subject because guys, Pearl is on a one-woman mission against these fake TradCon women. Okay, and I always say fake TradCon women are worse than feminists because fake TradCon women, they want the same outcome as liberal women and feminists. But at least the liberal women, you can see them coming with their tattoos and their piercings and their purple hair. Remember, Mother Nature made all of the most poisonous and dangerous things a strange color, weird shapes and stuff. So you can see the liberal women coming. But these fake TradCons, they try to dress modestly, conservatively. They preach all of these values, but they want to henpeck their husbands, get social media clout. It's the same thing as the liberal women.
Yeah. By the way, ladies, when you do call in, there's a little bit of a tech issue. So I don't always see you guys looking this way. So if I look this way, it's because I'm looking at the camera, essentially. Oh, I guess it's up sort of now. But anyways, I don't mean to be rude if I don't look at the camera. It's just the way it's set up right now. We are going to switch it eventually, but no.
And then
go ahead.
Remember, Pearly, what is the average age of marriage with America? Isn't it like 29 or 30 now?
Yeah, it's like 30.
So what? From 18 to 30, what were these conservative tradcon women doing?
Even if it's 22, 23, I mean, that's still 4 years of college, man, plus high school. And please don't come on here and try to like sell me purity. Please don't, because I'm not going to believe you. Look, you guys have no incentive, to be honest.
Yes. So let me put
Groypers, we got to, and can you tell me who's on the line? Just if someone calls in.
So Rachel Wilson, please come up. Isabella Moody, please come up. All you ladies that were talking mess in the chat, this is your opportunity. Come say it to Pearl's face. Because we want to hear from you. It's cat fight night tonight. Let's go. Yeah, I thought that the way that you approached it, because who would take a, oh yeah, I'm engaged of a picture of a ring and then without her fiance in it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, weird. But then they'll say it's privacy. But if you cared about privacy, why post it at all? It's like, that's the gaslighting. Exactly. That's what makes me want to shoot myself. Which is it? Do you want privacy or not?
Rachel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Hey, the Rachel Wilson. Let's go.
The one and only. I'm just kidding.
All right. Hey, Rachel.
Pearl, please don't shoot yourself.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just being dramatic. I'm a woman, all right?
I suppose, yeah.
Welcome to the show. I miss you. It's been a while. How are you?
I know.
Even outside of, before we'll get into the topic, but how are you doing? Have you moved yet or no? Is that public knowledge? Sorry if I spilled it.
We're getting really close. I just had like a major surgery like 6 weeks ago. Okay. So I had to like take some time to recover from that and everything before we could move. But I'm doing good now. I'm pretty much back at it. I'm a little slower than normal, but I'm doing pretty good. So everything's going well.
Rachel, I just saw that where you were on that show and you cooked those liberal guys all at once.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was actually filmed back in February. They just took forever to drop it, but Andrew and I both did that on I think we had 2 hours of sleep and 45 minutes notice, and everybody thought that these dudes had no notice of this and that we had all this time to study up on it or something. But no, I had no idea I was doing it. James was just like, we're going to have you do this too in 45 minutes. I was like, bro, I haven't slept. And he was like, you'll be fine. So I just jumped in and did it. But yeah.
Well, guess what? You were fine because you cooked all those losers.
Well, they weren't the brightest bulbs, They weren't the smartest guys, but.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on the topic? I want to know first, is it immoral for me to notice this? And because my only point is in 2025, really, modern relationships are brand building for women, and that's my opinion. So do you think that's wrong of me to notice? Any other thoughts you have on the topic? Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this. I don't think you're wrong in saying that, but I think that the reality is that the town square is digital now, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody's online. I know there's this thing with telling women to log off. It's never going to happen. The women aren't logging off. The men aren't logging off. No one's logging off. And to an extent, almost everybody is kind of building a brand. It just is a matter of who gets traction and following and who doesn't.
Correct.
I don't think there's anything wrong with announcing your engagement online. I think actually my purpose for being online is a little bit different than I think the rest of the gals in this group that we're talking about. It's because I'm old, right? I'm 45 years old. My kids are grown up. I have 2 daughters who are older than Sarah Stock, believe it or not. So I'm way past, I'm well over a decade past the wall. So I have no vested interest in trying to be a hottie or, trying to get simps. I've been with Andrew for 18 years now. now we're like way past
You just
that.
are that naturally, huh?
What's that?
A hottie. Sorry, I was
I've
gassing
always
you
been
up.
the smart girl. I've never been the hot girl. I've always been the smart girl. That's fine with me. I think it has a better return on investment in the long term than being the hot girl, because that's very temporary. But my purpose for being online and talking about stuff, I really don't make much money off of doing this. Andrew does a great job, makes a great living off of it, but I make maybe $300 a month or something off my online presence. I make a little bit off of book sales, and that's about it. My reason for being here is because I have 4 daughters and I care about their prospects and my grandkids and great grandkids after I'm gone. And I want there to be a hope for marriage and family. I want the birth rate to be at least at replacement levels. Like I truly care about the future of humanity. I know you're in your black-pilled arc and you're like over that stuff right now, but I care about it at my old age. And so I want women online, like I'm like, they're going to be online. And I'd rather have them posting about how great marriage is and how great motherhood is and showing like, hey, I'm a mom. And like, I love the women who post stuff about like, oh, here's me gardening with my kids and this is how I homeschool and here's what I do in the day. And here's some tips for, creating intimacy with your husband, even on days that you're tired. And, like those kind of girls, I want them to be posting, because what women do is they follow whatever's the popular girl, whoever's the pretty girl. That's who they follow and that's who they emulate. And so I want to magnify that kind of behavior, and I want to stigmatize the OnlyFans girls and the hookers and the trashy sleuths and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, despite all the beef and all the name calling and everybody yelling at each other, it's like,
I apologize for the HPV comment, all right?
Okay, but you know what? Of all the things you should apologize for, I'd say that's not the one. Because number one, Morgan's a retard. And number two, it's true. She's the one that put out her own videos talking about how she has HPV. So it's like, what do you want us to do?
Rachel, I do disagree with you, though. I don't think that social media is the same thing as the town square. Because I think that the town square was not nearly as harmful as social media is to women's relationships. So, it wasn't really about Sarah. I've posted that same thing with 5 other e-girls. None of them crashed out on me, by the way. And it was more about this is kind of where things are going. This is the trend, is that men, in order to get into relationships, will most likely have to sacrifice privacy. And I don't think that's inaccurate. The other problem, too, is when you have girls doing this stuff. I mean, Lauren Southern was doing the same thing and she crashed out. Half of the girls doing it, I mean, it's a numbers game, right? Half of them, the same thing's going to happen to her. So don't you think it's a little bit discouraging? Not in your case, because you've already raised your kids and stuff, but when young women do that and then later they end up divorced, it's the same outcome. But,
well, so even regardless of whether you're popular online or not, a lot of them get divorced and leave and cheat and all that stuff anyway. And you and I are both really hard on women, and we're really critical of women when they're behaving badly. But I do like seeing women getting engaged at 21. I don't want to see them getting married at 30 and waiting to have kids until they're 35 and then having 1.2 kids. I don't like that. Well, I want them getting married young.
I don't mind. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, right? All I'm saying is, she actually proved my point, because this started a shitstorm online, right? And that's is that bringing peace or drama? And that's my point, is most men are going to have to sacrifice privacy and take on drama in 2025 in order to be in relationships. And they're going to compromise and do it. It's OnlyFans, but on the other side, in a way.
I mean, you could say that, and it's more a difference of it being local or being national or even global. So my grandma, who's 99 years old now, she has a story about how when she was dating a guy, she kind of had 2 boys fighting over her, and this is 1945, 2 guys fighting over her, and that they got into a fist fight over her at the local gas station and broke stuff, and it was it made the little local paper and everything that these 2 guys got into a fist fight over my grandma. So it's if women are involved and relationships are involved, there's always going to be drama. It's just was it local or is it national now? So with somebody like Sarah, if she's got a big following and this guy is choosing to get engaged to her, he probably knows that comes with the territory to a certain extent. Although she did only post a picture of the ring because she doesn't put his name and face out there. She's trying to prevent him from becoming public, I believe.
You have to understand, like, I don't think you're going to, like, in my head, you don't value privacy. That's not something that's important to you if you're posting that online. And I think it's kind of gaslighting me if you're going to say you're going to post something private. You make it public.
An engagement isn't private. That's totally public information. It's public record. When you get married, it's public record. It's never, engagements aren't private.
But I'm saying you're still drawing attention to it. I'm not saying you're immoral, right? I'm not, like, do not mistake me for saying that's immoral. But
well, are you saying there's something wrong with it?
I am saying that a lot of that's bringing drama, not peace generally. And that it makes me think that's what you value if that's what you're posting.
If I had been online when Andrew asked me to marry him, I'd have posted it because it was the happiest day of my life. I couldn't believe this awesome guy wanted to marry me. And I would post it too. And I'd be like, oh my God. I would say the same thing. I'd be like, I won. I got this amazing guy. This is the best day of my life. This is awesome. Just like you would announce it if you won the lottery. I don't think there's
one of the things that Pearl likes to point out is there's a pipeline to these fake trad women. Okay.
Oh, I know.
Like this,
I've argued with all of them. They've come for me. Did you see what happened when I pointed out that Isabella DeLuca was not just innocently baking a cake?
Oh my God,
remember that? Do you guys remember the cake gate incident where I just pointed out that she had batter splattered all over her giant tatas, and that she could have just put an apron on. I go rounds with these girls too. And there's a reason why my Twitter bio says not trad, not conservative, because I don't think those labels mean anything anymore. I don't think any of us who were born after 1945 are trad or conservative. I don't think they know what they're trying to conserve. I don't think they know what tradition they're following. Those are just empty, useless labels.
The thing is, though, I don't think it's immoral for me to not believe it's genuine if you're using it for status and clout. And I'm just saying, if you're posting that on the internet, that's what you're doing, and you're inviting drama, and that's what happened. I don't think it's immoral for me to notice. I don't.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't immoral for you to. I didn't think it was immoral for you to perceive it that way. When I saw her post it, all I thought she was doing was saying, holy cow, look at this amazing thing that happened to me. I'm so happy. That's how, when she said I won, that's what I thought. I guess other people took it differently.
Well, when you're saying, like, where's your ring? Now you're saying you're using it to say that you're higher status, which is fine. Maybe she is, but it doesn't come off as like, it comes off when you say I won, where's your ring, as, I'm better than you. Here's my ring. And if that's what you think, that's fine.
Why did anybody, this is what I don't understand. Why did anybody attack the original post? Like, I understand for firing back.
I didn't attack her. I was pointing out a trend. She fired back at me. She called me a whore.
But didn't you make it sound like it was negative, like she was doing something bad?
I can't help how she feels about it. But my original post, I read it in the beginning of the stream. I said, I can pull it up again, but it said that conservative women will always use their family and their marriage to build their brand. And that's a fact, Rachel. That's what she's doing.
Okay, what's wrong with that? Why is that bad?
I didn't say it was immoral. I'm saying that's where the trend is going.
But are you saying it's negative? Are you saying there's something wrong with it? Is there a negative
connotation? If you read the original post, I didn't. I'm not saying it's
immoral. So it's not a criticism.
I am not saying it's immoral. It's not immoral.
But that's different than, because I just listened to you for an hour criticize and say that this is negative. Look what they're doing. It's bad. Look what they're doing. It's dishonest.
Because she called me a whore back. But, everyone
but your original criticism was saying she's being dishonest. She shouldn't have posted this.
No, my original criticism.
Then what was the point of this whole stream? You know that you and I are friends and we get along fine. So I feel like if I ask you the questions, you can take it. I'm saying, what's wrong with a 21-year-old girl who just got engaged, posting the picture, being happy, saying, I won?
It's not immoral, but again, I would say it's gaslighting me to say that you are not trying to signal status and seek attention by that post.
I don't think it's status, but if it's status, good. I want more. Give me more of that. I want all the 21-year-old girls. That's status posting, that getting.
Well, do you want to talk?
It's totally fine that you feel that way, but it turns off a lot of people when that's what women do.
Why?
It turns off a lot of people. You don't like. It turns off a lot of people when it's like a holier than thou attitude, right? You know, and the reason it turns off a lot of people, well, again, if women stayed married, that would be one thing, but like Crowder did the same thing and he wound up, you know, and then it does more harm than good in the long term.
They didn't get married young. They didn't get married young.
Right, but they built their brand off of marriage, right? And that's fine. It's fine. I'm not saying it's immoral. It's not immoral, but it's not really the tradition that conservatives in general are selling. I don't know her very well. So when I saw the original post, I've seen I've had 5 posts this year that are the same thing. It's the ring, right? But the point of the post is look at the resources I can acquire, that I can get a guy to do. Look at this nice thing this guy did for me. I am high status. That's what it's signaling. Not a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing, but I don't think I'm immoral for noticing that.
Okay, so that's a different claim.
was 25 when he got married.
The thing that you just said was a different claim. So I agree with you on the ring thing. And I made a post where, because this started a trend of women posting their rings online. I did not post a picture of my ring. I posted a picture of Andrew because I said he's the prize and that I am, after 18 years, I am still, and Pearl knows this, you guys. She's seen me drooling behind the scenes that I'm madly in love with this guy. I have been since the day I laid eyes on him. Nothing has changed. If anything, I love him more now than I did back then. I have a tiny ring that a woman made fun of me for on the whatever podcast.
I thought that was...
So I agree with you about that.
I didn't like that comment. This was the original post. I gave her a compliment. I said the hottest right-wing e-girl is taken off the market. Conservative women. And I was actually trying to do that to be friendly because I knew you liked her, right? So I was trying to say this isn't a personal thing, but conservative women will always use their marriage and family to build their brand. That's a fact. And that's
the connotation is negative. So I understand what you were saying because I know you, but she doesn't. So she probably assumed that because the connotation there sounds negative, like this is a bad thing they're all doing. I'm just noticing, but it's a bad trend, right?
I mean, if you want to take it that way, I think a lot of men will perceive it as negative because a lot of men value privacy, right? But it's not a personal thing. That's the way the trends are going. My job is to find trends. So then she crashed out and then, she calls me a whore and I didn't insult her. I didn't. So it's like, why are you crashing out? If it doesn't apply, let it fly. I still have no idea who this lady is with the ring. I don't care. It must be a female thing. Yeah.
Well, the thing about the right-wing e-girl brawl is that intrasexual competition makes the world go round, baby. And if women weren't catfighting, I mean, we wouldn't be, what would we even be in reality if the women weren't catfighting on X? And you know what? I'm glad that this dumpster fire, I'm just getting to sit back and watch it this time because it's usually me that's in the middle of it. With these girls, and for once it's not. We have Isabella. Are you there, Isabella?
Yes, I am.
There you are.
Isabella, what's going on? What are your thoughts on the topic, Chica?
Hello. Oh my gosh, I joined and I see my girls, Pearl and Rachel.
Hello.
Freaking not fighting, but disagreeing. But I get both sides of it completely.
Actually, first, I'd love to hear, how's everything going with you? Good? I wanted to start.
Good.
Yeah, good? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for checking in, Pearl.
It's been a minute. I liked it if I've met you before. Okay, go ahead.
By the way,
we
have to give Isabella huge props because she and I used to be absolutely vicious to each other on Twitter. Level 10 violence going on between me and her. And she got married and she got pregnant. And she actually messaged me and was like, hey, I'm trying to do this marriage and baby thing. And I was like, you know what? You have my full support and big props to her because she is married and she sticks up for her husband. And I've met them in person and they have a beautiful little baby. So good for her. She did everything, she got her stuff together and she's doing what she's supposed to do. So she deserves a lot of credit.
Thank you, Rachel. And I want to say that was me like being humble and DMing you was all because of my husband's leadership there. So shout out to my husband. Yeah, me and Rachel started off on a cat fight on Twitter. I'm just like, who is this woman hating on me? I'm just going to say, oh my gosh, she's jealous and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just so typical women shit that we all, like, as women already know. That's why, Pearl, like, I saw you respond to my tweet last night when I was like, I can't stand when people are like, oh, I hate the state of right-wing e-girl drama. It's like, who's taking these bitches seriously anyways? This is fun. This is entertaining. Stop pretending like you aren't sending screenshots to all of your friends. You enjoy this.
I just entertained you guys I just entertained you guys for 48 hours and I don't get a thank you. Like, come on.
Nothing. And I was watching you prior to me joining, and I was just saying to my husband, this is why I love Pearl, because she's not Pearl, no pun intended. She's not a pearl clutcher. She's not trying to like virtue signal. She's like, hey, just so you like you said, just so everyone's aware, this isn't a comparison. I know I'm also a modern woman and everyone wants to attack you on your looks and blah, 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 in your past. And it's like, you never said that follow what I do. You're just pointing out patterns. And in this case, I actually did not get involved in this right-wing e-girl drama. Well, I think my husband did on my account a little bit. I'm not even fully I haven't even like fully read it because I honestly don't care that much besides thinking it's funny. But what was my point there? Crap, I lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
But the whole thing is, by the way, I have a small ring too. I made sure I had it back on. It's a little bit bigger on my finger, so I can't stand wearing it sometimes. It annoys me. But ring size doesn't matter. Women that, like, I've always thought this, portray like, oh, look at this big ass diamond my husband got me. Let me just pretty much like a wedding too. Show off to all my friends. Let me pay so much money to feed everyone else. And I've always, even before, like even while I was an atheist, was against big wedding rings and big weddings in general, because it's to prove to everyone else. However, Rachel, I did understand your point too, to where it's like, we need to be promoting and like providing the propaganda that's in favor of marriage enough. Like that's obviously stupid. That's so materialistic. Who the freak cares? Like, who cares? Literally, who cares? But I do think propping up marriage makes sense.
I agree. And yeah, I even made a post.
Don't you think it would be more genuine if women gave up power first? But it's like you're saying, like, let me get power to get more followers than my husband and more money than my husband. And I'm not even talking about Rachel. I'm just talking about in general. But still want the traditional
Rachel,
stuff.
You power hungry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm
literally just said women do not talk over me. I will respect your show. I'm so sorry.
Not sorry. I didn't even mean to say Rachel. I meant to say Sarah. But like in general, it's like women. Like I just think it's kind of like we just want the best of everything. We want like the freedom of the internet. We want the freedom of like talking online, and also the virtue signal points of like being married, and the virtue signal points of like doing this right-wing e-girl stuff. Like that's go ahead.
Absolutely. And I think what women have wrong here is just say that you're virtue signaling. Say that it's obviously trendy if you're a right-wing e-girl to be like, hey, got married, I had a kid, I'm doing the things. Like Rachel just, complimented me on that. Guess what? Yes, in a few posts I have capitalized on that. When I was pregnant, I was like, oh yeah, transgender people could never, because it's rage bait. So yeah, it does help grow your platform and just being upfront about it. Like, why that, by the way? Why do women get offended if you point it out? It's the truth. I don't get it.
Yeah, you guys both have a point on that. And I definitely like I will go to war with Emily and Morgan, Ariel, and the other ones, because they're truly, like Emily even says, I'm not getting married unless I get a huge ring. I'm going to be hanging out with gays in the Hamptons. It's like, and this is conservatism. Like, screw you. That's why I won't even use the label, because if hanging out in the Hamptons with a gay dude is conservatism, no thanks. I don't want any.
But I don't think if you look at life choices, any women are conservative if you don't wait till you're married. Like, I just don't.
I swear all women are whores until they're married. Unless they like have a chastity belt and their father is like very controlling, women are whores until married. It's true.
We gotta end this you know what I mean? It's like everyone's got something.
Oh yeah,
Everybody.
for sure.
So,
for sure.
yeah.
And all these women in this
It's
debate,
just- yeah.
it's weird. Morgan Ariel, there's some things I really cannot stand that she posts, like when she wants the princess treatment. I hate that.
Yeah.
And then there's some things with my Jennifer Love Hewitt thing that I did not expect to trigger so many bitches online, right-wing bitches, including Sarah Stock, that it's like, basically, if you have 3 kids, then it makes sense for you to become a fridge and fat. It's like, why would you ever wife up a girl that says, before even having kids, she's already making excuses for letting herself go?
Hey, I have 5 and I'm old and I still lost 40 pounds. So
exactly. And Rachel, when I met you, you looked so much better in person because you don't care enough to show everyone that you're skinny. You'll let all these attacks come. You don't care. You only care about what your husband thinks about you. But it's so funny that these same bitches will then say, oh, well, Rachel, look at you. You look so bad. But then also be offended at me saying that Jennifer Love Hewitt is obviously a fridge who let herself go.
yeah, it's my fault for not changing my PFP for over 3 years. Like my profile picture is from like early 2020 or late 2021, I want to say. So it's kind of my fault for not updating that. But I did get fat for a minute. And there was reasons, and they were legitimate reasons, but nobody cares. It's the internet. So you just drop the weight, and now I've dropped the weight and I'm fine. It's been off for a while. But it's just like, yeah, all 3 of us try to hold women accountable for all the cope and the princess treatment stuff and the materialism stuff. And I just think that we do need as much propaganda as possible to train women not to act this way. So anytime I see something that's a little positive, I try to encourage it. And then when I see stuff that I think is overall negative, I try to discourage it. I know Pearl is like, Pearl's thing is, I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm not making any prescription.
Then it becomes performative. That's the problem. And I just think
everything's
like
performative. That's the truth.
I don't really agree
Every
with
post
that.
online.
I don't.
Yeah.
I know, but I think when it becomes performative, you can't blame people for not thinking it's genuine. You can't.
Well, what's genuine? According to Christianity, the only stuff that's genuine are the things you do when you know nobody is looking. And since nobody is looking, we don't know what that is. So, I mean, if you're older like me, you can see the fruits, right? I'm 45. So like, if I was what the internet says I am, you'd find my ex-husband out here talking shit about me. But miraculously, no one has found him, and he doesn't do that. And there's reasons, right? My kids would be out here telling you how abusive and terrible I am, but they're not, because we have a great relationship and they're very happy and well-adjusted adults now. So it's like, over time, sure, but I don't know when you're 21 how you would know if someone's genuine in private.
Well, isn't the fact though that there is an ex-husband, like, isn't it still performative in a way? Because like, if we go based on actions, and I'm not, this isn't a holier than thou, because I'm obviously not married, right? But it's like, if we go based on actions, I don't think anyone would make it when it comes to like a traditional relationship. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
so
that's why I don't use traditional, because like I got married thinking that was forever, and I did not leave and I did not cheat. It was completely beyond my control. I'm not trying to go into, and I'm not going to put his business out there. He's a private person, which is what, like, if I came out and told the story, it would make me look great. I'm never going to do that because he's a private person. It was 20 fucking years ago, and he does not deserve to have that stuff out there. But all I can say is that it was not me. I didn't choose it. There was nothing I could do. It was beyond my control. Sure, did I make mistakes? Like maybe I made a mistake in getting married to him that young. I don't know. You could say where you think I was wrong, but nobody gives a shit.
Well, yeah,
right? It's the internet. So people are just going to call me what they want, and they're going to think what they want.
Well, and I'm not trying to, because, we're friends, right? Yeah. I like you, but it's just, I think to the outside world, unless you like did the thing that we said, like you got married young, stayed married for life, and were a virgin, it can appear performative. right?
Yeah, it certainly does. It does appear performative. But I mean, I had my first baby at 20 and I thought, this is it. I'm married. I'm going to have a baby. This is my forever life. If you would have ever told me things worked out the way they did, I would have never believed you. So life's not perfect. No one's perfect. And I've said this, I just tweeted this, that I don't think any woman born after 1945 is quote unquote traditional. So I don't even bother with the phrase or with the name.
Right,
we're all a product of the culture that we're growing up in and the society that we're growing up in.
Don't you think then marriage is cosplay in a way? Because like, it's not really marriage if you don't have two people like as virgins getting married. Like even wearing white, don't you like? Why do they wear white?
Well, I wore ivory when I married Andrew.
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about you.
Would you say?
So
I mean, Andrew and I. Would you say that?
So I'm not trying to make this about you. Like I'm just saying.
No,
in general,
but I'm saying clearly some people have meaningful marriages. It's not everyone, obviously. Like I'm sure I've seen Isabella defend her husband to the hilt because people say horrible things about him online too.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've seen them and they appear to be truly in love to me and it seems very genuine to me. And people who see me and Andrew would say the same thing. So clearly not everyone is doing performative.
I would agree with you. However, there's people I thought were in love that like behind the scenes stuff happens. You never really know.
So what? Yeah. Do you watch Housewives? Do you guys watch Bravo reality TV? Damn. I mean, people put on a show.
And so, but like, it kind of appears performative when like, they're like, oh, look at my ring. Look at this, look at this, look at this. It's like, the more you do that, the more it appears you're not that. It's kind of like someone who says that they're the king isn't actually the king. Yeah. You know, you just also are. Like the more you have to like defend and prove that you are, the more I think you're not. Go ahead. And not you personally, because we're friends, but go ahead. Doug MPA.
I get that, Pearl.
One of the biggest problems with this whole, I'm married. First off, the girl that we're talking about with the ring, Sarah Stock, is that her name? I don't even remember. She's going to start posting her husband and her kids online. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And a man, you're preaching traditional conservative values, but I would argue that a man can't maintain his masculine frame if his wife is running their life and marriage through her social media presence and platform. How does a man maintain masculine frame when everything has to go on the gram and she's building her presence?
Listen, if he didn't like it, he'd say no. For instance.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, if Andrew didn't want me doing... Listen, Doug, if Andrew didn't want me doing any of this online stuff,
Rachel,
if he told me tomorrow, look, you need to log off, I would.
Rachel, take it outside of yourself. Take it outside of yourself. Please. So don't, like, you keep bringing it back to you.
No man is forced to marry this woman, right? He's not married. But he's not forced to marry
Rachel,
Sarah.
but men make compromise.
It's on him to have the frame and control.
Right, exactly.
Rachel,
yeah.
Men wanted virgins, right? But because they want sex... we all got compromised on, right? They said, I'm going to make this compromise because I want sex and I want a wife.
Well, that's what's on them.
That's
their choice.
Exactly.
I'm not saying
men
it's
have
immoral.
autonomy too.
I'm not, but it still begs the point that he might accept things that he doesn't necessarily like.
Yeah, that's on him. He
never underestimate
the
having been married and divorced. And having been an idiot in my marriage by conceding way too much to my ex-wife, never underestimate the power of what men will do to try to make their wife happy before they wake up. Never underestimate that power.
Yeah, I understand that.
And most of these conservative guys are going to give that power to their wives.
I can't do anything about that. Neither can Pearl and neither can you. It's up to them.
That's not what she's talking about. She's pointing out that that's going to be the thing. Rachel, it's going to be a couple years from now. Sarah Stock is going to post her husband looking all awkward in front of the camera and her kids, and she's going to use her kids for clout. Watch.
Nobody gets clout for kids, first of all. You guys got to stop with this line of posting your kids for clout, because all I've ever been told is, ew, you had 5 kids? That's disgusting. That's weird. Don't you have any other hobbies? Why do you have so many kids?
That's not true, but in the conservative
nobody thinks it's
audience,
cool, which is a problem, by the way.
That's not true. In the conservative audience, you'll get clout off of it. That's why they
100%.
do it.
Or you get CPS.
I'll use another.
You might get that too.
I'll use another example is like Brett Cooper. I mean, we didn't know who her husband was. She posted the the ring, and then it was like, oh, it's going to be quiet. And then she just happened to do like a full exclusive on the wedding. And that's I don't mean
all
to
I'm saying
attack.
is Brett Cooper's a horse girl.
Guys,
that's all you need to know.
I don't mean to attack her. I don't even predict a divorce for her. I actually think they're super cute. But I'm like, conservative women, we just can't help it because we're so invested in our reputation. Even this conversation, like you guys have both said things to defend your reputation. I'm not a dig, not a dig. But I'm saying
everyone does, and
I understand, but I'm saying women cannot help but use their kids and their marriage to give them clout, defend their reputation, and seek status. We just can't help it.
Like,
but Pearl,
what do you say about me though? Because like I literally had the first time CPS was called on me was because my 6-month-old daughter babbled something that sounded something that rhymes with giga. And I was like, oh my gosh, this was my daughter's first word. I'm so proud of her. Is that me trying to maintain? I mean, I guess that's an image I'm trying to maintain.
To be honest,
I don't know. I'm weird. I don't take myself seriously.
Isabella, like, it was funny, but it was kind of stupid. Like, why would you want that drama, right? Like, and I'm just being honest here.
I know.
I mean, it was.
I know. I deleted my Twitter after that.
I know. It was hilarious. Like, I laughed. But still,
how could you not?
How could I not?
I've
It
been
was
saying
funny.
I want
It
my
was
kids'
funny.
first words to be
But,
that.
like,
Since,
it's still.
as long as I
have to look at the action in that moment. Yeah. You picked internet cloud over the kid, and I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm sure.
No, I know.
It's not a holier than thou. But if I'm just being autistic with it, I'm like, what are they picking? You know?
Like, I know. Like after, I'm like, why would I post that? Like, what's to gain besides being funny and getting some traction? I did not expect it to get that much traction, and then like my parents' businesses are getting like bad Google reviews for being racist and all these things. I'm like, holy crap! I did not foresee these issues, but yeah, obviously, like. This is how I feel, and I've always felt this way before even being an online political content poster. I don't take myself that seriously. But I remember in high school, I used to get so mad at bitches who would post something and then get mad at people for responding to it or having an opinion. It's like everything you post online, you want a reaction. It's for a show every single time. Just admit it. Like stop
you wouldn't post it.
Yeah.
Right? You wouldn't post it if you didn't want people to see it. And this is my point. My point is that this is the world we live in, and even before the digital age, clout or status or perception is what all people care about. Both men and women care about it.
I disagree. I disagree. I mean, Rachel, don't overtalk me. It's my show, so just don't overtalk. I disagree because most of the men I know, just like around here, they're not online. It's normal for women to be online. It's not normal for men. Go ahead.
And also, there will be severe consequences if the man does not go along with her program. He won't get sex. All the
come on.
I'm telling you,
Andrew would walk away in a heartbeat. Listen,
we're not talking about you.
Andrew's different from these men out here.
So they should be like Andrew.
Yeah,
exactly.
They should, but they're not going to be. So it's just pointing out the reality of it. Yes, I agree.
Don't be like
but that doesn't discount the fact that the majority of men, these women, start doing this. Posting for clout in conservative circles because one, they know it gets them results, and two, that they can shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right their husband into doing it because they don't care about their. Too many modern women on the left and the right, there's nothing more important to them than their own selfish desires. This is just another example of that.
I agree.
So what are you arguing about?
Because the difference is that 50% of Instagram users are male and 60% of Twitter users are men. So this idea that men are not online is baloney. Well, it's just not true.
Okay. They might have profiles, but they do not post like women do. My brother has an Instagram, but he hasn't posted in 5 years. He still has an account, but they're just not active. Like both of my brothers have it. But like if you look in like what's going on, especially these young guys, they don't care. They don't.
There's too many simps and too many attention-seeking whores online, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, they might want to DM. It's more to get laid for the women. Like, they need an Instagram to get to message the women.
That's actually something I was disagreeing with you on when I was listening prior to joining, is that women have a sex drive. I know that women have a sex drive, but I really when women try to say they have the same sex drive as men, I feel like it's such bullshit because it's always, how come when women get comfy in a relationship, they deny sex more because they're trying to act like, oh my gosh, I'm so sexual, trying to like attract the guy. And then once they have them under her control, she's no longer interested and she doesn't want sex all of a sudden. It's all sex is all a means of control and manipulation when it comes to women.
You don't understand it because you guys both married men you're attracted to, but a lot of women compromise on that when they get married. So that's the sex drive doesn't go down. They just want to have sex with someone hot.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, that's my
100% true.
but I don't think it's the same.
Rachel,
as men.
do you think you have a normal male do you think it's same to male sex drive? Because as a woman, I'm not thinking about sex throughout the day.
I do agree with you that it's not the same as men. I do agree. Sorry, that part I agree with. I just meant the sexless marriage.
Cool.
Yeah, I do agree with that part.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat says speak for yourself.
Got you. By the way, I wanted to clarify, I've never been with a black guy. Just I saw you said all these girls probably have been with black guys.
All right. But you guys, okay.
Nothing against the non-white guys, but I have a strong preference for white dudes only.
Were you guys have you guys been with someone else other than your husband?
Two guys,
yeah. Unfortunately, yes. But that's why I say all women are whores until married.
Yeah, I mean.
And then they might have married the wrong person and they get remarried. It's okay. That's these are the truths. That's a thing, Pearl.
I'm not doing that to shame you. I'm just let's be
I know,
real.
that's my point. Yeah. That's literally my point is women think that when you say that it's an attack, but you always have to say trigger warning. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I live this out. I've also made mistakes. You're just pointing out facts. And then women get so defensive and offended by it. And it's just such the tone policing bitching behavior. It's so
do you know what else? I just, when mids tell me if a girl is not Isabella, I think you'd have a pretty high callback rate with the guys you slept with. You're very attractive in a not gay weird way. But when women that are
no, if I'm going lesbian, it's with Pearl. I mean that very clearly. I'm this is the girl I'm going lesbian for.
When women are 5s and 4s. And they say they have low body counts, and I'm really, you're that awesome. You had a 100% callback rate in college. And in your 20s before you got married at 32. Truly, really. Okay. Yeah. I mean, your husband's might buy it, not you guys, but yeah, go ahead.
And never forget over here, because Pearl was the one that recognized the whole mid thing, where if you see a mid tradcon,
higher body count,
conservative, because she went to a lot of these tradcons are from smaller areas, but they spent their time in the bigger cities, and they got to see what the 9s and 10s, the results that they were getting. And while those women got those results naturally because they're hot, the mids had to sleep their way to get to the same results as the hot women, but never quite got there. So if you see
home math says the same thing.
Yeah. Yep. So if you see a woman that's a 6 or a 7, particularly from the suburbs or a small town and a major city, her body count is times 10 of what a 9 or a 10 is, because she sees the results that a truly beautiful woman gets with these men, and she realizes that she has to make up for her lack of looks somehow, so she starts giving it out easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from a town of less than 4,000 people, and I never went to college, so that probably saved me. But my only point here, because I'm going to get going soon, but my only point here was, for me, what my thoughts on this is I'm trying to incentivize good behavior among women online and disincentivize bad behavior. And to the extent that I can get women to marry young, have families, I'm going to try to encourage that. It's never going to be perfect. Some people are always going to get divorced. Some people are going to be dishonest. They're going to be fakers, all that stuff. All we can do is try to incentivize the behavior we want to see in women and disincentivize the behavior we don't want to see in them. And that's pretty much my thoughts on it.
Cool.
I love that.
Well, thanks for calling in. I'm going to read a super chat really quick, and then if you have
thanks for having me, Pearl.
Thanks for calling. I'm glad we can disagree peacefully. So thanks. I always appreciate it. Social media marriages are a humiliation ritual for men. Vanity posts are just performative BS. It's a vector for spreading mental illness. Everyone that uses it has some obnoxious personality. Case in point. Sorry. See, I can take it. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah, it's okay. You're self-aware. It's okay. Women hate accountability. That's the thing.
It's just, I just think it makes it worse when the women go around saying, look at my ring, and then end up divorced in 5 years. Half of them will. They're not going to be above the stats.
But it's like, look at your ring. Okay, and they stay married. Who cares how big the diamond is? Like, I actually think it makes no sense unless you have endless amount of funds to waste money on a freaking rock on your finger. Like, I'm not a jewelry girl. I put this on right before filming sometimes if I remember. This is my husband's like family heirloom ring. It's not big. I don't freaking care because I'm married, not to prove it, not to like show how much my husband loves me via how much money he spends on a freaking rock on my finger, but because I want to be married to him.
Yeah, I don't care about the ring. Like, it's just that like to me, I mean, I like Emily. I got nothing against her, but that's not something that's that important. But to be fair,
I actually like Emily too personally.
Yeah.
Like, me and her never come after each other. I don't really talk to her besides for like random TP USA events. We'll kind of chat, and we totally disagree on a lot of stuff. But I can like tell that she doesn't get super offended by things. And I like that with women, because most women, even if they claim to be a tradcon conservative Christian girl, they always get offended. They can't take accountability. I mean, Emily's never proclaimed to be a perfect Christian conservative. I mean,
that's what I say. I respect
well, she's
her.
Not though.
I respect her a little bit.
Exactly. That's my point. She doesn't claim to be.
Can you guys hear me?
I know.
Can you hear me? You just talking over me? Or
yeah, I can hear you.
Just making sure. I respect her a little bit because she's at least honest. Like, I mean, half of these women did the same thing she did at these TP USA events. I mean, can we just be real here? Like, half of these, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if she got finger blasted or whatever that they keep going on and on about. I mean, she made the unfortunate mistake of doing it in front of people, I guess. But I heard there was another girl that was like doing something like at a party on the balcony, and she's marrying a white guy who's like a dude with dreads, I guess. I don't. My point is this, like, one girl's like feigning innocence where the other is like, yeah, I am a whore, what now? And I do want to marry a rich guy. Where half the time women go into like conservative politics to get a rich guy. Anyways, so.
First off, I want to say, it says, while it may seem counterintuitive, some studies suggest a correlation between larger, more expensive weddings and a higher likelihood of divorce, according to the Institute for Family Studies. So, guys, the more you spend on a wedding, the more likely you're going to get divorced. And then, Pearl and Emily are cool, so these are my views alone.
Text her, actually.
Emily, I mean, she uses terms like pick me and stuff. I mean, Emily's a closet feminist to me, but that's just me.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but all women are feminists, because women all have access to power that gives them, like, that makes us equal to men in a way.
That's the thing. Honestly, all women have internalized feminism. No matter how much you and me, Pearl, hate on women online, we still have it. I see it come out in my marriage. My husband always checks me. That's the thing that's funny about the narrative with my marriage. People think just because I'm a few years older, I'm like the evil, overbearing, crazy crazy wife that runs everything. Everyone that actually knows us, his family included, oh no, he runs the show. There's no, like, even if you're just friends or a family member of Josiah's, like, he's the alpha, it's his way, or there's no relationship, right. There's nothing. That's just how he is.
Would you agree he probably had to catch up, though? Because I'm assuming the reason people say that is because you probably had more experience than him. Like
what, technically in the online political realm?
No, I hate it's uncomfortable. You probably had dealt
with it's okay.
More
it's okay.
You probably
he was a virgin when we got married.
Yeah,
he was raised in a very Christian.
Yeah, so
it was actually a cult.
Correct,
that's a whole other thing that will be being released. But
he had to play catch up, and if he does dominate your marriage, it was something he had to learn, I'm sure, if he didn't have any experience. Generally, the woman, when she has more experience, even if it's not sexual, right, flirting with, going on, I mean, the offers you get at 18, it's like everybody's throwing dick at you.
No, of course. I mean, it's funny you say that, though. Like, he had to catch up.
Yeah, I'm sure it was something he had to learn. It's
funny that you say catch up, though, because in my head, it was always something that I had to try to overcome. Like, damn, like, I was raised in an atheist household. I went to college. Like, I wasn't like a crazy whore, but all women are whores. Like, I wasn't a virgin. When we got married, I was an atheist, like, whatever. I was anti-feminist, but I still was kind of living out the feminist dream of girl bossing and whatever. And it was always something I felt like I needed to overcome and like catch up with because he was the virtuous one and I was the one that had the past, which actually hurt me in the marriage. But
but let me say it in a different way. We are prone to manipulation, right? I catch myself, I'm sure you've seen it in yourself where you're like, shit, I'm trying to manipulate. I'm trying to get my way through something, right? I mean, this is just like, it's almost like we're born breathing. No, it's female. Yeah, female nature, right? Yeah. Men are born good people. We're not. And so men have to learn how to hold frame in a relationship. That's not something that unless he was raised by a very masculine dad. So it's just usually pretty unlikely that a guy knows how to do that. And when a woman's had a boyfriend before, gone on dates, gotten attention from all these guys, she's usually learning how to manipulate them and get her way, because everyone wants their way, right? It's kind of the dance we're doing. Of
course.
And so for the man to get his way more, it's something that he has to learn. Right. So that's why they say that, is because it's kind of like the Michaela Peterson thing. Like the younger
oh my
guy,
gosh, get me started on that hoe.
Like you guys weren't that different in age.
Well, let's get started.
But yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's like she went younger. She's still thirst trapping on Instagram.
Oh no, breastfeeding her baby. Let me just, here's an excuse to post a half naked photo.
Oh, that
but
was
don't criticize me because I'm a mom breastfeeding. Isn't that supposed to be cool with right-wingers? Oh my gosh, I cannot stand the conservative mom entitlement with breastfeeding in public. These bitches want to have their tits out in public. It's weird. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
And like what I was saying before, there's not these guys, these conservative guys, they shouldn't be letting this happen in the first place.
Yep.
But they just let it happen. And the church is just training men to be this way. It's that feminist indoctrination in the church. It's just like, you have to please your wife at all times, or it's under the guise of, we can keep it private and you don't have to worry. But there's gonna be a time where, because I'm not religious, but I've dated women who go to church before, and I always tell them, I'm not going to church, and you're gonna have to be okay with telling your quote unquote church family, because they always have a church family, that you're with a guy that you always say good things about, but he's never showing up to your church. And it'll only last for a certain amount of time before all of her friends at church are like, aren't you dating someone? You say such nice things about him. Why is he not in church? And then they say, well, you need to start coming to my church because everyone's asking.
Means of control.
I have to leave him behind. No, I told you I wasn't going. Yep. Now most guys would be, okay, yeah, sure, I'm gonna go, but it took me a while to get to that point where I'll just say no, I'm not doing it. Sorry, I'd rather leave you behind and compromise that.
I'm gonna read a super chat really quick. If men could get BBLs and get flown out in their Cash App for full pics, they would do it. Probably. Yeah. I just thought that was a bad argument, saying men at social media too. I'm like, do you have eyes? I like Rachel, but I'm like, do you have eyes? I mean, if you go out to dinner, it's the women taking pictures of it's the women taking pictures of the food. It's the women at parties, it is just not the same. Social media is for women.
The difference is women will post because they want attention, and then men will simp because they are simps and want to give women attention.
Well, they want to get laid, so they got to do it.
Well, yeah, I mean... Yeah.
When Rachel was talking about, 40% of Instagram is men, but those guys, they post themselves holding fish when they're fishing, and then they try to hit on women on Instagram. Most guys use Instagram as a dating app. Women use it for attention.
Yeah, and they don't even do it well. If you've seen, most guys don't have good Instagrams. I know, because... Yeah, most guys don't have good pictures.
Mine's terrible.
I just started using Instagram again. Instagram sucks regardless.
Is anyone in the waiting room? Is Sarah coming?
I don't know. I'm waiting. I just DM'd back in the group chat. Where are these girls? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, they had so much to say. I'm ready. Call me a whore to my face. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Literally.
And gosh, guys, make sure to like the video because we have 764 likes. We want to get to 1,000. We had 1,500 people in here earlier and only 764 likes. What is going on here?
I was cooking because I was tired of being told I started this. I did not start it. I did not throw the
we're always dragged into these things. They always want, they complain about the right-wing e-girl drama or whatever, but then they always want our takes and we're dragged in. I didn't even respond to this. And I was invited because, bitches know there's right-wing e-girl drama. Pearl and Isabella were included.
Well, you know what? I said, whenever I reveal something that gives women power, that's when there's a crash out that may not necessarily be known. So if I reveal that women are using their relationships to get attention and money online, then there's a crash out. If I reveal that women are catfishing and they don't look like their photos,
I know.
And that was another, I got community noted for that. And that's what I've noticed is whenever I say anything, like if I ever say, if you went to a big school, like you're not going to convince me you didn't get finger blasted once, Lila Rose. You're just not. Like, I'm sorry. If you're over 25.
No, it's not happening.
Like, I know we don't have
and
the
you're not
same
even
sex.
judgmental, Pearl. Like, I remember when those people posted, like, my college slutty Halloween costume photos, whatever. They said I did lesbian porn. I was just dressed up as a freaking bride, as a hoe in college, okay? Pearl DM'd me before I feel like we ever even met each other. I feel like you and me kind of always liked each other for some reason. And you said you should film a video. Like, my sister goes to college. You weren't judgmental. You were just like, this is a good opportunity to show how it's so easily to be ingrained as a normal girl in college to dress like a whore on Halloween.
Yeah, it's pretty
normal. You weren't judgmental. You just pointed out. It's okay. I did look like a whore. That's gross. I wouldn't want my daughter doing that in college either.
You have a great body. I was like, she looked good. I see. But it's like, it makes sense. I'm not even, because the incentives make sense. You get way more attention dressing like a whore. Why wouldn't you? I understand morals, but we don't have morals. Come on, guys.
That's why I say all women are whores until they're married. I mean, seriously. No woman will ever admit that. But it's true because as women, we're so easily influenced. Like we could really.
No, it's not influence, Isabella. It's power. You get more power from it. We're vying for the attention of the top guys, and you get more. You get more power. You can compete better half naked. It's not I always say mids, like 6s can be 8s if they have good bodies and they're in a hot city. So a lot of women go to Vegas and Dallas because you could be a hot girl there even if you're a mid. There's and
they have filters for that for your face, girl.
Yeah, I know. If you post a thirst trap, you can get invited out by a billionaire. Why wouldn't you? There's no reason. I understand the morals and stuff. But men adapt so much. I went to a UFC gym, right? And I did interviews and I asked some of the fighters, and these are guys with choice, right? I mean, a lot of women want to date fighters. And I'm asking, would you accept a girl with an OnlyFans 5 years ago? And a lot of them said they would. They were like, yeah, if it was a long time ago. And I don't think they're simps. I mean, they're fighters, but men have to look at the menu and say what's on I know we give men a lot of trash for accepting stuff, but they have to look at the menu and look at what's on the menu, and what's on the menu is whores.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, what I've realized is as much as what the red pill says, at the end of the day, these whores still get wiped up. Logan Paul married a whore. Now she's apparently a nagging, disgusting, pregnant woman that's like a monster because women think just because they're pregnant, they can be monsters to their husbands all of a sudden. It's disgusting. My husband would never allow that ever. But yeah, it's weird because I realize that men will still wipe the whores up. And I remember Zerka said this. And Zerka, I love what Zerka posts online. Not every single thing, but I love how he doesn't give an F and he's truthful. And he says, if my options are marry or, marry a girl that's ugly, who's a virgin, or marry a whore with a high body count, but she's going to be faithful to me, I'm picking the hot whore because men want to be attracted to who they're having sex with for the rest of their lives.
Do you know what fertility, beauty, youth, that's first. Men pick that. They might not say they do. They might tell you different, but that's just not true. Thin, right?
Isabel, I have a question for you. So we were talking about the other day, the whole Nala thing, right? And how the church is kind of the last stop on the horror train. A lot of whores will go to church to as their last stop to try to find a good man and repair their reputation and stuff. So let's say you have a OF model like a Nala and stuff, right? And she were to be saved. She were to be saved, right? Because Pearl says, don't believe these whores. Just don't. I don't have to. But she was asked, what would a whore have to do to prove that she's turned everything around? So I said she would have to be vetted by a man of God, have been married into the church by him, have had had to have had his children and no whoring for 10 to 15 years. What do you think?
Valid. I mean, I think that's completely valid. The funny thing is that's kind of what I did, right? I married my husband, got married into the church. We had a baby, and there's some like drama going on with the church. Like, we have left. It really is a cult. And I kind of could tell it was a cult just because I knew, like, as an atheist, I knew like standard cults, like these are the things, textbook cult things happened. But I literally never said a single thing to my husband because I was waiting for him to make the call. I wasn't going to try to say we shouldn't go there. I was just going to keep my distance, do what my husband said. And that was it. My husband, within time, because I trusted his leadership, stood up to the cult leader, who was his actual grandfather, and has taken us out of it. However, Pearl, like you were saying earlier, men don't really know how to deal with women in power and relationships unless they've had to learn through experience. And it's because my husband had to deal with a crazy cult and his grandfather, who is every terrible thing you could ever think of. He can spot out any single control and manipulation, to where sometimes we'll like get into little disagreements because he'll think I'm trying to control him when I'm actually like, I know there's sometimes I do. And like, obviously we're human beings, we do, but he's so hyper aware that he's like very nitpicky in the sense where he will not let a single thing slide. He's not someone that's, I'll let this one go and win the war, not the battle. He will nitpick every single battle. So you kind of have to go through it with the experience, which is interesting. But I agree with you. I agree. Maybe I'm not 10, 15 years in, and maybe I will be discredited one day. Hopefully not. But I see where you're coming from, because you really have to fully submit. This is true submission, women, okay? It's not submitting to your husbands when you agree. It's submitting when you don't agree. That is true submission. And it's hard as someone that tries to talk, as someone who tries to really talk about this online. Mm-hmm. It's still hard in these moments because as women, we all have internalized feminism. And that's why we need to accept the reality. And that's how we can face it and defeat it, instead of pretending, oh no, we're holier than thou. We're perfect little virgin saints who have never done anything bad ever in our lives, and our husbands should be groveling at our feet.
I'm going to read a couple super chats really quick. J. Owen, traditionalism and modernism can blend for good. I want to see if I missed any earlier. I read that. We got a thank you from Roulette Wheel. I have no idea who this lady with the ring is. I don't care. Oh, I read that already. Females birthing at 16 years old have never been a problem in history. Horse spreading for randos at any age and left a single mom causes societal problems. Danny, the world is full of haters. Men will be happier if their women use their lips for anything other than causing stress. We just want to work, come home, and de-stress with the family. And that's my point, is like,
that should be like a Bible verse.
She proved my point because she started a whole drama around her ring. And I'm sorry, but if you're bringing that home, there's just no way, like, you're providing peace to your husband. There's just no way. I don't believe that's not a peaceful way. And maybe he doesn't care or he's accepted it, but that's just not a benefit to men. I mean, there's exceptions, right? I think Rachel and Andrew, that's an exception. It seems like you guys work together too. Maybe that's an exception, but like, come on, guys. There's no benefit to men in sharing your relationship online. There just isn't.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about? Go ahead.
If you think that one person could have got out of this, it should have been Candace Owens' husband. Dude's English, tall,
white,
with $240 million, and his wife is dragging him into all this craziness. Like, what?
Does she feel like she doesn't talk to him or talk about him? Are you just saying just because she's online and he's like really not
she's
present with it?
Him all over,
I don't ever see anything about him.
She's posted him all over her social media. She shows her kids all the time.
Yeah, I mean, women can't help it. They cannot help it. Like, we just can't. We cannot, like, I mean, even Rachel earlier, she's like, yeah, of course, like, I mean, it's fine. I'm not saying you're bad for doing this. But it's just not it's not a net positive to men in general. In general, men value
I can tell
privacy. Men will accept it because that's what's on the menu. So that's why they will accept
there you go.
TradCon influencer. Like, this is men's menu. They're looking at the menu of Gen Z girls, and it's like, okay, I can do an OnlyFans girl. And honestly, I think some men might pick an OnlyFans girl with light nudes over a TradCon female influencer.
Who thinks she knows best? Yeah.
No, just like not just the privacy. Because, I mean, the slight nudes, that's violating like her privacy, but at least he's, you know, he's not going to, like, I'll see Brett Cooper screenshot like texts from her husbands. And I've seen like, and it's not bad. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm better than this or whatever. I'm just kind of observing the trend. And the trend is that women are going to sacrifice privacy and bring drama at the expense of their relationship, and men will have to accept it.
I.e. Matt Walsh's wife's Twitter account.
Oh my God, that was so bad.
How she'll like humiliate him. And
Oh my God. And like, and alphas will know what they're doing, and simps will not only defend it, they not only will accept it, but they will die on the hill of defending it, not realizing that a lot of times, like if you're marketing, like Savannah, let me see her. Savannah, I saw her Instagram. I think she cleaned it up after my thing, but I was like, this kind of looks like marketing for your next husband. Like, and I got nothing against her. I actually like some of her baking videos. But I'll look
Pearl, I need to hear the critiques of me and I will not take it offensively. It's okay. I promise I don't care. I like you and I like how you can critique people, and I'm not going to take it personally. But I need to know, Pearl, because I even felt like when you responded to me saying, like in that video where I'm being way too cringe in that like blue tank top, like, you look so good. And I'm like, but does this pass like Pearl's test that you used to do? I need to know. I need Pearl's validation.
Oh my gosh. I'll look in a second. I'll look at your Insta in a second. I think she cleaned
my Insta. I mean, you can. I just started posting again, but
okay.
I've been banned on Insta for a while.
About your stuff? Well, I mean, it's fine. It's just, I mean, you'll spend a lot of time like trying to defend your reputation. You'll be like, my husband does this and that, and that's fine. It's kind of cute sometimes, but you know, again, it's like the more you have to defend it, the more people are going to think you're not it. You know, the more you have to be like, my husband does this, he does that. And I understand the incentive because we get so much shit online, but it's just, yeah, like, I think the
thing with my social media with my husband is he uses my social media. Like, a lot of the times he's the one tweeting. Like, when the beef between me and Sarah Stock on social media,
you guys had a beef?
Him and I mean, kind of. I mean, I don't even know. Like, she disagreed with my Jennifer Love Hewitt being a fridge take, whatever. And my husband kind of like responded. And it's funny because she was like, oh, typical woman getting mad at my response. I'm like, haha, bitch. It was my husband. You whatever. And so a lot of the time, I mean, every single thing I post is like either okayed by my husband or he doesn't agree with it, deletes it, and then I'm banned from social media for a while. Like, so a lot of the times I'm not even allowed to post on social media. So, and he uses my account and connections to help his own business growth because he's in this right-wing political content sphere too. So he can use it as building his business, which he has. And that's what's provided for the family.
I understand.
But he has full control. Full control.
I understand. You don't have to convince me.
No, Pearl, you need to listen. You need to believe me. God, I need to virtue signal to you and like, I need your validation.
God. Oh my God. I think she cleaned up her Instagram after my last show. This is hilarious.
I've seen some stuff from her on TikTok.
I have the e-girls under my have the e-girls under my thumb.
I want to be the only e-girl under your thumb.
Okay, do you know what's funny? I know she had a picture with her boobs out, and I was watching it like a show or two ago, and I was like, what the hell? And I can't find it. I'm like, did she move it off? And she had a cross on, and I was like, diabolical. But like, when I see the Instagrams, sometimes I'll just say like, this is marketing for the next guy because you're showing like, oh, this is what I can cook, this is what I can bake. And it's like a lot of the stuff is like, look how awesome I am. Look at my ring. Look at my, like, do you see what I'm saying? It's not him, it's me.
100%.
I don't know anyone's personal relationship, but again, the more we're picking the attention stuff, the more, you know, I'm like, I think that might be why they're doing this marriage thing. And I get it. But and I understand where she's like, we want to propagate them back. But you understand if women marry for propaganda, they'll also like do the next trend. Like there's the Tradwife trend, and then there's another trend that they'll be next. Like if they're the type of person that's going to get married because of social media, the gays will get them next.
Exactly.
She'll have a gay trend.
It's all for the wrong
next.
reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Pearl. I think your instincts with calling these hoes out are so spot on. Even with like things I know personally, like you tend to be very, very spot on. But I also agree with Rachel when it comes to we're very influenceable. Like we kind of go with the trends. So yes, there's going to be like, there will always be women who are doing things for the wrong reasons. But I guess if we could steer more women into the direction of doing the right things, even for the wrong reasons, it's better than the wrong things for the wrong reasons.
I disagree, because women that marry because of a trend, I mean, they'll get divorced. And then some poor guy is going to get tortured.
This is why the debate I had to do with you that my husband set up was so tough, because I do think you should get married, but I also don't think it necessarily at all, and most likely is probably a bad situation for men. So it's like a hard position to defend. It's if you get good ones, but even good ones can go sour.
Well, and that's why, Andrew Wilson was on Pearl's show on Sit Down, and Pearl has this thing where she says, sell me on marriage, and none of these trad cons can do it. Like sell a young man, let's say he just graduated law school, or he's really getting into his blue collar business. He's kind of getting off the having to do the manual labor. He's got a couple of guys, he's building his business, and he wants to get married. Sell him on marriage, and they just can't do it. And even Andrew and Rachel to some extent is like, oh, you get a virtuous woman. What does that even mean? And like what incentive does a woman have to stay virtuous as a single woman? And then when she's married, when so much they're rewarded for not being virtuous, and they just can't answer. They just can't.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And I want to point out that another trad con, Trent Horn's wife, is even leaving him. Probably a poor joke. I can't help but make dark jokes if you know, you know.
Oh
anyways.
my gosh. I just got that.
I had to do it. I had to. What else could you think of when hearing that?
Oh my
Sorry.
God.
Anyways, but yes, I completely agree with you, Doug, because I really truly think, and this is going to sound crazy, but I always say this, like my husband literally trained me like a bitch dog to how to be the wife that he wants and deserves. Like, honestly, you have to like break down a woman's ego and like literally make her think that she's worthless, and then build her self-esteem based off of your validation into where that's the only thing she craves. I mean, it sounds, maybe it's technically toxic and manipulative, but with the bitches these days, I think that plus God is the only way.
Oh, wait,
There's no virtuous woman. They're all whores until they get married.
I know, that's honest.
I'm being real.
Yeah,
I'm being real.
That's I actually, hold on. I wanted to read something that I thought was relevant that I think maybe we can close out the show on. Where is it?
No one else wanted to join, huh, Pearl? This is so
it's just crazy. They had so much, all these
women.
women had so much to say, and then they didn't.
Honestly, in their defense, though, it's like you have to prepare to get ready. Like, who knows if they're okay?
We could do audio.
We need to plan another one where we give these bitches enough time to where if they don't show up, then they have no excuse besides being scared.
They have enough time. I don't buy that. They're on their phones 24/7. It's been like, come on. I see them on Twitter all the time. I don't need the camera. Yeah, but being on Twitter versus
I get it. I like to plan.
You could do audio only. It's a call-in. I appreciate the video, but we don't require it. It's not. Peter Wright, I think, is the one who tweeted this. I think he sent it to me, and I thought it was a good article. Well, thanks for calling in. I do appreciate the e-girls who confront me live, so I do appreciate it, even though I think we agreed mostly today. Thank you for admitting all women are whores till they get married. I appreciate that.
Should I tweet that out?
And maybe half of them are still whores after.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Rachel. She got remarried. I'm just kidding. That's a complete joke. And I know Rachel's cool enough to get the joke. Yeah. I know. Like this is why me and Rachel are the only ones that joined, realistically, because we can disagree with Pearl and we can have disagreements, but we don't get so personally offended because we don't care. We don't take ourselves that seriously. We know that we're all imperfect, but it's these bitches that virtue signal and try to pretend there's something that they're not. They're holier than thou. Oh my gosh, Brett Cooper's just video today. Look, please, if you have kids in the room, please cover their ears. Please, I won't even read what that was. These horrid things these girls were saying. It's like, bitch, shut up. You ride horses.
You went to UCLA and you're in a sorority. Like, come on. Like, can we just be real?
Yeah.
I know it's sorority girls, and I'm not trying to look, we all have seen the, this is not a holier than thou, but come on. All right. Thanks for calling in. Call in anytime. Okay.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right. So I'm going to read something from gynocentrism.com. And it says, performative femininity of tradcon women may be a manifestation of narcissism. The following studies indicate that performative femininity displayed by tradcon women may be a manifestation of narcissism. ChatGPT. Women higher in narcissism measures employ performative femininity, outwardly conforming to traditional, exaggerated gender roles, excessive makeup, provocative dress to control social impressions. Number 2, women more often display narcissism through appearance-based strategies. Women narcissists often align themselves with traditional gender norms, including submissiveness or flirtatiousness, not as actual traits, but as performances for social gain. 3, narcissistic women are more likely to engage in highly curated and sexualized social media activity to seek validation and attention. The behavior aligns with the concept of performative femininity, where appearance and presentation are instrumentalized. 4, cultural shifts have amplified narcissistic traits in both genders, but particularly women. Young women in particular are increasingly socialized to see hyperfeminine appearance and sexual appeal as tools for success, which overlaps with narcissistic performative strategies. 5, traditional femininity can be a masquerade, and for some narcissistic women, this mask is used manipulatively to preserve inflated self-image and elicit male attention. 6, female narcissists may assert femininity and receive affirmation from society to attain their goals, and at the same time deflect accountability and externalize blame. So I just thought that was interesting. Female narcissists often use performative femininity, appearance, sexualization, traditional gender roles, performance to attract admiration and attention. This is particularly evident in social media behavior, romantic dynamics, and self-presentation strategies. So women just want to be worshipped for everything. So they'll use their marriage and their kids to try to get people to worship them.
And once again, like I said to Rachel, we know where this is going. Her husband can only hide for so long. And you know what? I think they really start dragging the husband in. What do you think about this? The husband can stay private. Maybe you see his hand, or maybe they'll even do the staring at the sunset where you might see his back when they're looking at the sunset or something. But when they have the kids and the women start wanting to post family photos, it's over with. It's over.
It's over.
Yep.
Oh, I think she might call in. Hold on. Let me see. I got a text. I can call in.
Let's go.
She's coming. Yes.
Guys, make sure to like this stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. It is about to go down if she calls in. Let's go.
Okay. Let me put up the chat again. I can join. Are you still on? Oh my gosh, I'm going to be up all night.
This is totally worth it, though.
Yeah, it is. Let me pull up the chat and see if there's any more super chats. Right on that. Fight. I'm nice. She insulted me first.
Yeah. I don't think your very first post at all. I thought your very first post was it was good. It didn't. Rachel said it had negative connotation. I don't believe that at all.
It's because they feel called out, because I'm revealing what they're doing and it gives them power. All of them. Gives me power. You see this? I'm giving up power. I'm giving up power by revealing this. And I get crucified. I'm so honest. I'm so honest in that, I get crucified for it.
Hey guys, make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. We got to over 2 million this year. We're headed for 3 million. So subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you to everyone in the Audacity chat. I don't see anyone in the Zoom yet. So I'm going to go to the Audacity chat and say thank you to the people there. Give me 1 second if I can find it. Okay.
I could play what's in it from like the trailer again. By the way, guys, if you want to donate to our divorce documentary, all super chats and proceeds are going to fundraising for our divorce documentary. We're almost to $40,000. So if you want to go to the GoFundMe, feel free to add to that. We're almost to 37,000. I think we're like $50 away. I'm going to see if anyone donated this show already. No.
Yeah.
It's all right.
So thank you to Brad M. I can never say Lincindia's Almanza's name right. Ovni Man, Yakov.
Oh yeah,
Brad M.
Yeah, read the chat on the website because I still don't have access to it. If there's any.
Okay. Yeah, Ovni Man says exactly. Pearl, the ring girl should shut the F up. I don't see any other Pearl reads in here. Lone Wolf, thank you for being in the Audacity chat. Always good to see some people in the Audacity. Guys, make sure to go to Pearl's website, theaudacitynetwork.com, and sign up over there. We'd love to have you. You come over here and you're in the chat. You can put Pearl read, and she will read anything that you post over there. Let me see if there's anyone in the Zoom.
I sent it to a few other people too. Oh no, they didn't come. Send it to this guy too.
Keep hitting the super chat button because all super chats go to the divorce documentary. Thank you.
It's so
everyone
crazy.
Who super chatted so far. Go ahead.
Half of them coming up. It was still a lot of like defending their reputation. We just can't help ourselves. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just thinking back to the conversation I had with both of them. And it was so much like we do this in our marriage, and it's like status. It's usually the relationship to seek status or, clout.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was like half the conversation. We just can't help ourselves. Go ahead.
And when Rachel was talking about, if I post about my marriage and my kids and stuff, I get all sorts of flack, but it's like, you guys hang around the whatever podcast and a bunch of, Gen Z hookers. You know what I'm saying? Like in conservative circles, a woman gets more clout and gets further if she's married and she's posting her kids online and all that stuff. Come on now. We all know this.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
I was thinking, I almost did a Twitter poll that was like, should I have a kid this year? Yes or no? Because I'm like, that's the level of ridiculousness it is. I'm like, guys, I understand. You want me to have kids and whatever, but I'm like, it's a little weird to be this obsessed over it. Like, it's a little, it's not a normal thing to, sorry, I understand, but
I haven't seen anyone in the Zoom yet.
Yeah, should I live stream? If I have a kid, can I live stream it on YouTube? Why stop? why shouldn't a woman post what she's proud of? Look, I didn't say she shouldn't. But what they want to do is they want to monitor how people will perceive them. So they want to shame you for perceiving something as attention seeking. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't be proud of this, but it's kind of like the same thing. And Sarah, she's just one of many, right? I don't even know her that well. Like, I didn't really know her content. I'd seen like one clip.
Oh, Pearl, here she is.
She's here.
You ready? Yep, let's go.
Tell me when she's on, because I can't see.
Sarah, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sarah, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. I was just hanging out with my family all night. Have you guys been doing this? Like, how long have you been doing this show for? Because I feel like you guys have been doing this for a long time tonight.
We're here every night. So what's up with the gaslighting, Sarah? What's up with the calling me a whore? You know, I didn't insult you. What was that about?
When did I call you a whore?
That was your first comment to me. Are you going to gaslight me more today? And I'm trying to be real here. So
can you find any exact quote where I said that about you?
Yeah, you're saying I'm getting run through by black guys. It's kind of rude. You know, it's not.
Is it true or is it not?
That's not true.
Question.
But I mean, if you want to insinuate that,
that's
fine.
Your current boyfriend and your previous boyfriend. You're not married to either of them. So how is that?
Okay.
And that's just what we know about. So I don't understand.
I understand, but I just don't really understand that energy. I didn't insult you, right? Did I?
I would say you did, yeah.
Okay, how did I insult you?
I'm someone who's like 10 years younger than you.
You what?
I said, I'm someone who's 10 years younger than you, getting engaged to be married. And instead of just saying I feel like I've been pretty nice to you. Like, we've been pretty friendly. And so I would just assume, I mean, there's people that I've argued with in the past that even were cordial enough to say congratulations, and you couldn't even just say something nice. Instead, you decided to attack my character just because I wanted to make an announcement that I'm engaged.
Okay. What are you doing when you're posting on social media? What's that for?
It's making a public service announcement.
Okay, but
my fiance wanted me to make to let people know that I'm taken.
Okay. To who?
Which, by the way, I wouldn't say that's good for my brand, considering I constantly get allegations that the only reason I'm popular is because I have male Sims.
Okay.
So would you not think that me posting that I'm taken would actually decrease my popularity? But I still decide to do it because I love my fiance.
I think that you're doing it. I think when you're posting something online, it's gaslighting me to say that it's not for attention. I don't know you personally. You can be nice to me, but you're not entitled to the benefit of the doubt. And I don't understand why women go into male spaces.
That, like, I don't even understand why women go into anyone has ever posted online. You could just say is for attention. So it's just stupid.
I just
like when you post. Okay, so you post everything for attention too. That's the whole point of the internet.
No, I post.
Like,
for
what are
money.
you even trying to say? Why don't you just say congratulations next time? It just you just come across as jealous.
You could say that, right? And that's fine. And if you want a virtue signal and say you're better, cool. You're a better person. You're awesome, right? There you go.
Thank you.
So, but my question is, if you're so great, then it's like, why the attention seeking? It's like, I don't think that you can really argue it's for anything other when you're posting something on social media. It's for attention. I think it's gaslighting. I don't think it's immoral.
So that's everything you've ever posted too. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So you posted like 50 different things about my engagement.
Well,
so that was all for attention.
I mean, I would say it's my job. I would say it's my job. It's for money.
I noticed what's trends. My job?
I notice trends, but
So what's my job?
I don't know. I don't know you. Let's read the original post. We'll go to it.
Pearl, let's just talk about, like, your entire job is just hating on women who have made better life decisions than you.
Okay.
Is that not true? Like is this your job hating on women who got married 10 years younger than you that didn't sleep with a bunch of black men?
I'm not insulting you. You're the
like
one.
You're virtue signaling off of what
I'm not insulting you.
Not getting married young?
I'm not
I don't
insulting
understand
you.
like what you think.
I'm not insulting you. You're insulting me. I'm not insulting you. Are you done? Okay. My post it wasn't personal at you. I've done the same post like 10 times. It really wasn't. I actually gave you a compliment off the bat. I said the hottest right-wing e-girl's taken off the market, but conservative women cannot help but use their relationship and their kids for attention and clout and money. That's just factual. That's a fact. If you're making money on your account and you're getting followers, if you're making money and you're getting followers on your account, and you're using your private relationship to grow it, that's what it's for. Now, I'm not saying you do that all the time.
And what are you doing with your entire career?
I'm not
also,
saying
you've posted more revealing photos than I've ever posted in my entire
that you do
life.
that all the time. I'm not saying that you're wrong for doing it. I'm not. I didn't say you were immoral.
Well, then why are you even saying it? Like,
because
normal people don't take someone's happy life event and try to like shit on them for it after they're being family.
I'll tell you why.
That's not like you realize that's not like a socially adjusted thing to do.
I'll tell you. I get it. You're the very popular one, and I'm unpopular. I get it. Okay. So the reason I said it is because I look at trends. And one of the trends that I have noticed is that men really have two choices on the market. It's the OnlyFans girls and the women that use their relationship for status and clout. I've seen this before your time. It really didn't have anything to do with you. I saw this growing up with the moms on Facebook. And that's always what they would do. They would post the kids, they'd post the ring. Anything nice their husband did for them would be posted
and how did you feel
as
about
a
that,
way.
Girl? Did that make you seethe with jealousy?
Well, it didn't make me.
Like some people just like to share that stuff with their friends because they want to. Like, because if I see my friends sharing their family or their engagement ring, I'm just happy for them. I'm not like rolling my eyes.
No, I'm not
so,
rolling.
Like, if I was to roll my eyes at something, it's because I'm jealous. That's
well,
just what
no,
it makes
I'm not rolling my eyes at you. I don't really know you that well. But what I had noticed, because I look for trends, is that the more women post about their relationship, they usually break up. And that's what I noticed with the women from my hometown.
And I've made one post in my entire life.
Okay,
people. But guess what, Pearl? You post about the black men that you're sleeping with.
All right.
Can you post about the black men that you're sleeping?
Can you for 2 seconds go outside of yourself? Can you not make it about you or about me? Is that possible? Can you do that in a conversation or no?
I muted her. Let me know when you want me to unmute her.
Yeah.
She just kept talking.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Sarah,
this is
this is going to have to be a discussion where you're going to have to let Pearl talk on her show. So I'm going to ask you to unmute, but you can't just keep talking over the host of the show. So unmute, please. And let's try to have a civil conversation.
Who even is this that's talking right now? Who's the guy?
God help your husband. You can just kick her. Oh my God. God help your husband.
Is this another black man you're bringing into your life, Pearl?
Oh my God. God help her husband. God help her.
How many are there?
This is like black person level IQ rebuttals.
Oh my God. God help this.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm old. I'm 40. 42, actually. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Doug, are you still there?
I'm here.
You can kick her. She's not going to be respectful, so you can just kick her.
Okay. Well,
she's going to be rude.
Well, it was good talking to you. Well, not really.
Yeah, it's like, God help her husband. Yeah. This is what I mean. It's like Christian women, man. I don't go into things insulting people, and they just insult me, so... Yeah.
I thought that was going to be an actual lively discussion, but...
I was trying to have a conversation, because what I was trying to say is it wasn't really about her. But, she is using her relationship for status and to build a brand.
I'm sorry if you didn't want me to mute, but she was just going on and on.
No, I wanted you to kick her before. So she's got to go.
Guys, once again,
God,
we
they
know
get
what's
so
going to happen.
racist. Like, I'm not even that. Yeah.
Yeah, we know what's going to happen. Because I told you, it starts with the ring pictures. Then you're going to see small glimpses of them. And then it's going to start on the wedding day. And then all of a sudden he's going to be all over her pictures, all over her Instagram. Then when they have kids, they're going to want to start one of those family channels, just like that one girl. Who was the girl in Utah that ended up getting arrested? Ruby Frankie or something like that, who was abusing her children.
Yeah. I mean, they're just so insufferable. Well, guys, she kind of proves my point. Anyways, I mean, Doug MP, did you think I should have kept her on? I don't know. I just didn't think it was going anywhere.
She just kept over-talking and over-talking and over-talking. What could you have done?
Then honestly, and these are the women that say they're so feminine and winning. It's like, are you really? If you're a bitch with a ring, you're just a bitch that got a ring from a simp. Because yeah, go ahead.
Here's one of the biggest differences between Pearl and the rest of these women. I've had multiple conversations with Pearl about life choices, and Pearl has always been willing to take responsibility for her life choices. That's the biggest difference between Pearl and the rest of these TradCons. And so, when people are like, oh, yeah, you're jealous and this, that, whatever, Pearl's made her choices. If it works out for her, it won't. And if it doesn't, she'll take responsibility for it. But a lot of these women, they're acting in ways where that they're not going to want to take responsibility for keeping their marriage together. If it falls apart, all that stuff. You think that Sarah, who is Sarah Stock? I don't even know this woman.
I don't know. I tried to be civil, have a conversation with her. She wasn't going for it. So anyways, God help her husband. God help her, because remember, the way women treat me is the way they're going to treat their husbands when they're angry. So God help them. Anyways, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.